Hi guys, I apologize, and we've been struggling with trying to come to live. So we're still struggling with this. The camera is not properly done, so we have to do from two platforms. But you can love and like because we struggle to come in. I don't know what was the problem, but we're going to do something. As it is now, just for the last time, and I want just 1 second for me, just love and like. Those of you who are on Facebook, continue to love and like so that we are not flat. Those of you who are on YouTube, the quality of the video might be very poor on YouTube. I apologize beforehand. We've been struggling with all of this. Now give you one moment, and I will be with you now. Just want you to listen again to our national anthem. Thank you so much again for joining us. I apologize seriously, and this lecture is one of the most important lectures that we are going to give as a movement. But unfortunately, we have a problem coming live. I don't know why. The setting will not just work. I don't know why we've been the reason. We will explain that to you if necessary very much later. But I thank you so much for joining me today. It's a political speech, because that is how the state in this country sees my videos. So I tend to like that. But today I will be speaking on something that is very important to the entire Yoruba nation. But before doing that, I want to speak on behalf of the young Yoruba for freedom, on behalf of the young Yoruba conservative politicians, to say the Fulani and the Igbo who killed Tolulope Arotile, that we will miss her. And this has been going on for far too long. You will recollect how Babangida, some Yoruba are so foolish because Babangida has Badamosi as one of his names. They think he's Yoruba, but Babangida is actually a Hausan man. It's not even Nupe. You will recollect how he wasted the lives of young Yoruba in the military during the Ejigo plane crash. And they have constantly and continuously eliminated the best of our minds, the best of our brains. When Awolowo confronted the English colonial Turks, they did not put him in prison. He was not even arrested for 1 second. But the minute the English colonial Turks left Nigeria in 1960, October 1st, by May 1962, Awolowo was already arrested and put under house arrest before he was jailed for 10 years in September 1963. Ever since the English left, the Hausa Fulani and the Igbo have connived together to always kill the best of our brain. That's why they waste this young lady. We at Wawa we believe so much in the quality of our minds. And we've used our brain power to help to shape the course of history in Yoruba land. And we're working to change the course of history. So when we lose great minds, such as Tolulope, it's a very bad thing to happen to the Yoruba nation. Like I said in one of my statements in respect of this, mind or brain is the worst thing to lose. It is so unfortunate that we have to live with this reality. It was the same way Kudirat Abiola was assassinated. It was the same way Abiola was assassinated. It was the same way Pariwani was assassinated. It was the same way Victor Banjo was killed by the Igbo. It was the same way that Akintola, our sitting prime minister, was eliminated. As a matter of fact, Akintola is one of the best minds that the Yoruba nation has ever produced. The video that he produced about the campaign warning us about the criminality of the Igbo is still valid up to today. But say something about the Yoruba nation. We are the only nation on planet Earth who does not revenge. You can't try this nonsense with the Caucasian in America to be killing the best of their brains. They will go to war with you. You can't try this shit with the English, killing the best of their brain. They will kill you back in revenge. Folks, you will recollect what happened recently. The US government demands China to close down its consulate in Houston. What did the Chinese do? The Chinese did a tit-for-tat policy and asked the US to close down its own US consulate in Chengdu in China. You will also recollect what happened some few months ago, I think in 2018, when the Russians were accused of killing an ex-spy, killing him with the use of chemical weapon in England. The English expelled 23 Russian diplomats. The Russia did the same thing by expelling 23 English diplomats in Russia. People always do tit for tat. That is the only way your nation can be respected, except the Yoruba nation. And this has to do with the irresponsible nature of the Yoruba liberals. We have to learn to revenge. We have to learn to kill those who kill the best of our brains. We can no longer, and our generation will not do it, we can no longer allow those who continue to kill us to live and continue to repeat that. So, the situation that happened with Tolulope, she's been buried. Everybody seems to move on. And that is a brain that we've lost. She could end up help to fight and defend the civilization of the Yoruba nation. Everything happens as if she's not that important. Everything happens as if she's not a brain to reckon with. Look at the way Amana they assassinated Abiola. Nothing happens. We just moved on. Tell the African Americans to go and kill President Trump's wife. The same way the Fulani killed Kudirat Abiola. Tell black people in America they should try and kill President Trump twice. White people will kill a lot of blacks as a revenge. You ask the Scottish to go and kill Boris Johnson's girlfriend. You will see how the English will revenge. But they wasted Kudirat Abiola, we did nothing. They wasted Abiola, we did nothing. And we've challenged the Yoruba nation. Name one Igbo ever to be killed, Igbo leaders, ever to be killed by Yoruba people. None. But Igbo leaders, Igbo people, they have killed several Yoruba leaders in the past. Yoruba has never killed any leaders of Hausa Fulani. But Hausa Fulani killed MKO Abiola. They killed his wife. They killed Pariwani. And we continue to behave like horrible people. A young soul is gone. It is because of the liberals in our midst. And it is also because of the Pentecostalism that teaches that we have to forgive those who are killing us. Even Israel, where Jesus Christ came from, they went to war with 7 different Arab countries and they defeated all of them, killing them. They are not preaching peace. Why should we continue to lose the best of our brains? We continue to lose the best of our brain because of the irresponsible nature of the Yoruba liberals. This horrible set of people, they gang up and call themselves Yoruba Summit Group. They recently issued a statement saying that there will not be election in 2023 without restructuring. That statement was signed by people like Ayo Adebanjo, people like Inka Odumakin, people like Ibagani Adams, people like Sende Aro Bofa. These are irresponsible Yoruba people. They are telling us that there will not be election in 2023 without restructuring, but these horrible people participated in Jonathan National Conference. After the conference had been completed, rather than for Jonathan to implement the recommendations, he went for election. He did not implement the recommendation, and people like Ibagani Adam participated at that conference. Ayo Adebanjo, Yinka Odumakin, horrible people. They all participated at that conference. At that time, they did not say that there will not be election without restructuring. But now, when there is every prospect for a full-blooded Yoruba citizen like Tinubu to be president, horrible people like these people are coming up, and we are warning Iba Gani Adam, the young Yoruba for freedom, the conservative Yoruba politicians. We're warning you. We will undermine your office and ridicule your person if you dare to speak ill against any Yoruba citizen who aspires to be the president of Nigeria from 2023. It is because of your irresponsible utterances that is why Hausa Fulani and the Igbo could easily assassinate Tolu Lokpe. What did you do? This same Gani Adams spoke out in public saying that Fulani will not hand over power to Tinubu. But you ask him, you have this information, how are you going to defend a Yoruba citizen? But he goes public condemning Tinubu every now and then because Tinubu is not allowing him money, because he's not getting any financial benefit from Tinubu. How can you get financial benefit when your political party is PDP? And all these people who call themselves Yoruba Summit Group, they all supported Atiku at the last presidential election. Ayo Adebanjo, Yinka Odumakin, Ibagani Adam, Aro Bofa, Akin Osuntokun. You know that Akin Osuntokun and Femi Fani-Kayode, they are best of friends. They work under Obasanjo. They are all PDP guys who cannot win local government election in Yoruba land, issuing horrible statements that there will not be election in 2023 without restructuring. Horrible people. What did you do when Jonathan was there? You participated at that useless Jonathan conference where you increased the state from 36 states to 54 states. You cannot even get Kwara and Kogi as part of Western region. You cannot even get a regional government. There should be a shame on all of you. They issuing a statement that there will not be election. Our generation is not joking. This is a generation that will revenge. Believe you me. We have read so much about how the white American did to make their country great. We know how the English made their country great. All these horrible Yoruba Libra who style themselves as Yoruba Summit Group, they cannot win local government election in Yoruba land. And their party, the PDP, have always been rigging the election in Yoruba land. They cannot win hands down. Look at their face. The governor of Oyo State. He came into power condemning late Ajimobi for borrowing 90 billion naira. He has already borrowed 40 billion naira. He is already looking to borrow 100 billion naira. And that is likely going to be approved. Under 2 years, he has borrowed 140 billion naira. And this is a man who condemns Ajimobi that held power for 8 years, borrowing only 90 billion naira. He has already, under 2 years, borrowed 140 billion naira. Already 40 billion has been approved. They are trying to get approval for 100 billion. This is PDP, Yoruba. They're very useless, very corrupt. And they are the reason why Fulani and the Igbo have continued to undermine the Yoruba nation. We continue to lose the best of our minds, the best of our brains, and nothing happens. It is only our nation that does not revenge. Everybody, look at what Britain did to Gaddafi. In spite of the fact that this man apologizes to them, they make sure they killed him after several years. But England cannot do it alone. They needed France, they needed Germany, and they needed the top dog, the United States of America. That's why we are canvassing for the Yoruba leaders to also have allies in the United States of America, to have super special relationship with them. It's a pain in my heart for young Yoruba to be so killed. These are the future. This is the future of our nation. And they continue to kill them. We'll fight back. We'll avenge the death of this young lady. And I'm encouraging young conservative Yoruba. This must not be an ordinary death. They've done it for so long. If we do nothing, they're going to kill another person. That's why Fulani have the boldness. They are minority. They are the only ethnic groups that is not indigenous to Nigeria, but they continue to rule since 1960. How have they been able to do it? It is because of the irresponsible, self-serving career politicians in England who are giving them weapons. England is the second largest exporters of weapons in the world. Fulani has their backing. That's why the Fulani will tell you that Nigeria is non-negotiable. The United States of America is the first exporter of weapons. The Yoruba nation must work with this country. Otherwise, our children will do what we're doing now. We need them, and we need to share our wealth with them. So today I'm going to speak on Ibeju Lekki, a right to the future of our nation. Ibeju Lekki is a local government in Lagos State, Yoruba land. The name was derived from two autonomous Yoruba communities in Lagos, Ibeju and Lekki. These were Yoruba space. If you go to Ibeju Lekki, it has potential for tourism because it is endowed with beautiful lagoons, views, and ocean front. The development that is currently going on in Ibeju Lekki is rapid. Ibeju Lekki is expected to become the central business hub for manufacturing, warehousing, and logistics. We have seen forecasts that from 2025, Ibeju Lekki will be the richest local government in Nigeria. Ibeju Lekki as a local government would generate $5 billion every year from 2025. That $5 billion from Ibeju Lekki, one single local government, is more than the combined revenue that will come from Igbo land, plus Hausa Fulani land, plus Kanuri land, plus the Middle Belt. If you look at this, Hausa Fulani land has about 7 states. Kanuri land has about 6 states. The Middle Belt has about 7 states. Igbo land has about 5 states. All of these 4 regions combined together, the revenue that will come from them will not be up to the revenue that will be coming from one single local government in Yoruba land, Ibeju Lekki local government. We, the Yoruba, are the economic backbone of Nigeria, but because the generation before us has been so stupid, they look up to America because they are white and they condemn them because of the irresponsible action of the English, the French, and the Germans. You can't condemn people who have done nothing towards you. We, as a movement, have challenged the Yoruba people to give us any shred of evidence how the Americans enslaved Yoruba land. No, there was no such. It never happened. The United States of America never for once enslaved the Yoruba nation. The Yoruba nation were enslaved by 3 different countries. The English enslaved the Yoruba part of Nigeria. The Germans enslaved the Yoruba part of Benin Republic, and the French enslaved the Yoruba part of Togo. If we must hate white people, these are the 3 white people that we must disagree with. And if you look at the relationship we have had with the French and the Germans, believe you me, they are people that we can do business with, except the irresponsible English self-serving career politicians who continue to give weapons to Fulani to suppress the Yoruba nation. Ibeju Lekki will be generating $5 billion every year from 2025. The money from Ibeju Lekki alone, just one single local government out of 159 local government we have in Yoruba land. Our one local government is richer than the entire Igbo land, than the entire Hausa Fulani land, than the entire Kanuri land, than the entire Middle Belt of Nigeria combined together. We should rule over these people. And it's all low. Have you ever seen any rich nation being controlled by poor nation? Why is it that America decides everything that happens in the world? Why is it that Russia has a voice in everything that happens in the world? Why is it that people reckon with the China? Why? Because these countries are very rich. They are wealthy. It is the wealthy people, wealthy nation who governs, dictate to poor nations. Igbo nation is a poor nation. Hausa Fulani nation is poor. Kanuri nation is poor. The entire Middle Belt of Nigeria is poor. We are the economic backbone. We should rule over these people, not the other way around. But because of the stupidity of our parents who look up to white people as racist, that is why we can't get the support of the United States of America. Whereas Fulani are getting the support of the irresponsible English to suppress and dominate us. Our generation is working to stop all this nonsense. Currently, Apapa local government in Lagos State, Yoruba land, is the richest local government in Nigeria. Apapa local government. Apapa local government contributes more revenue to the Federation account of Nigeria than all the 504 local government areas from Hausa land, from Kanuri land, from Middle Belt, plus Igbo land. Apapa local government is in Lagos. That is where you have 2 ports. You have refineries. You have buildings for different companies. The money generated from Apapa Wharf and Tinker Port is 10 trillion naira every year. But because Fulani are controlling it with the weapons of the irresponsible English, they never declare 10 trillion naira as the revenue from that 2 port. Horrible Yoruba liberals who are in the PDP like Ayo Adebanjo in his old age of 90 is still antagonizing the Yoruba greatness. Stupid Yinka Odumakin, because he's married to Igbo, continue to condemn the greatness of the Yoruba nation. The only thing they see is Tinubu. Whereas our port in Lagos, it is Atiku that is collecting the revenue from that port. What am I doing in England? Why can't I collect it? That is my homeland. That is my ancestral homeland. I'm indigenous to that land. Both of my parents are Yoruba. The port is in Yoruba land. Why do I have to work in London, face discrimination from their police, who have arrested me 8 times of my life? When there is so much wealth in Yoruba land, why is Iba Gani Adam not talking about that? Why is it hoping his useless mouth talking about Tinubu every now and then? Why did he support Atiku in 2019? Atiku that is the one collecting the revenue from our port when our people have got no job. When we live in America and drive their buses, we drive taxis, we do care work, we live across European country, we do shit jobs. But he doesn't talk about that because he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. That's why we challenge him. He bragged as the area on the Kakafo of Yoruba land. His position is not the first in Yoruba land. When we talk about the military hierarchy in Yoruba land, we're talking about Basharu. Basharu is the top general of the Yoruba army, followed by the Baloguns before you get to Iba Gani Adam, who is the area on the Kakafo. He cannot pride himself as the head of the Yoruba armed forces because he is not. I spoke to him at length. I said to him, help the Yoruba nation to protect the next generation. Let us take power at the center. For 2 years, he confirmed it to many people. I speak with him twice every month. For 2 years, yet he goes out to the public to condemn Tinubu. Ask him, this is what I've asked him, who is your candidate for 2023? He cannot provide a candidate for 2023. He continued to undermine the interests of the Yoruba. I spoke to him passionately. I said, I don't want my children to live in England because they will never attain their full human potential. He needs to understand there is a huge difference between personal interest and national interest. The disagreement he has with Tinubu is his personal interest with Tinubu. He has to consider the national interest of the Yoruba nation. But because he doesn't get it, he doesn't even know what is atomic bomb. He doesn't know what is nitrogen bomb. He doesn't know what is nuclear bomb. He doesn't understand anything about submarine. He has no clue about artificial intelligence. And he's gallivanting all over the world saying that he's Are Ona Kakanfo. Young Yoruba who are in American military should be leading our armed forces, not Iba Gani Adam. Because he has shown with the way and manner he speaks publicly on the issue of national interest that he doesn't have a clue. He doesn't have a clue. It is YYF that is guiding his actions most of the time before we disagree with him over Tinubu's issue. And we continue to warn him. If he dares to undermine any Yoruba citizen who aspires to be president of Nigeria from 2023, we will drop the appellation of Iba before his name, and we will reduce him to an ordinary soldier. Doesn't have a clue. We have a Papa local government. One single local government in Yoruba land is currently the richest local government. By 2025, Ibeju Lekki local government will be the richest local government in Nigeria. The money that the federal government of Nigeria generates from Apapa local government is more than what is coming from Igbo land. It's more than what is coming from Hausa land. It's more than what is coming from Kanuri land. It's more than what is coming from the Middle Belt. Combine all of these four regions together, the money that is coming from Apapa local government, just one small local government in Yoruba land, is more than the wealth that these regions are generating. Yet, all these horrible liberals, they don't get it. It is Tinubu that they look at. When we should support Tinubu to be president of Nigeria so that the Yoruba can go and work with America, we have America to come and have their military posts in Yoruba land. There's nothing bad in it. America has military posts in Germany. They have military posts in Israel. They have military posts in South Korea. They have in Japan. They have in 188 countries of the world. If they have military posts in Yoruba land, there's nothing bad about it. It is absolutely legitimate because we need the friendship of these people because they are superior to us in all ramifications. When it comes to healthcare, The healthcare in America is superior to the healthcare we have in Yoruba. When it comes to education, the Americans have better education than us, the Yoruba. When it comes to infrastructure like roads, bridges, railways, internet, they are superior to us. So that means that their civilization is higher than us. You work with people who have superior intellect than you. It has nothing to do with discrimination. It's a statement of fact. You have a Papa local government generating so much wealth, and Yoruba are scattered all over the world, living miserable life. And horrible Yoruba Libra don't think about that. Because the only thing they ever want in their life is to have money, to have so many women, sleep about and die. If you go to a Papa local government, you'll see major houses, commercial offices of many shipping, clearing and transportation companies and refineries. All these companies are paying taxes to the federal government of Nigeria. These are Yoruba money. It's a major loss of revenue for the economic growth and development of Yoruba land. Ibagani Adam has no clue about it. Stupid Yinka Odumake has no clue about it. Horrible Femi Fani-Kayode, who is half Yoruba, half Igbo. They have no clue. You know Femi Fani-Kayode, he graduated as a lawyer. Can he represent anybody in the court of law? He doesn't have a clue. He's lost sense of thought. He's talked from both of his mouth. He's a Fulani man, half Fulani, half Yoruba. That is why they antagonize Tinubu. They don't want full-blooded Yoruba to be. Full-blooded Yoruba will be president of Nigeria in 2023, or we go to war. And we will get the support of the United States. Ibeju, Lekki is what we're talking about. You just wait and see. You will see how they are going to be generating $5 billion every year. You know, we're talking about big money. By 2025, my first child will be adult. By 2025, he will be eligible to vote. He will be eligible to get married. And if he decides to get married, by 2025, I could be a grandfather. I'm fighting for my whole life. I'm fighting for my children's life, and I will be fighting for my grandchild. Is that a reasonable thing for us to do? If we don't take power by 2023, we will be miserable forever. Our local government, Apapa local government, generates more than 15 trillion naira every year. Every of this money goes to the federal government. Is Hausa Fulani generating 1 trillion naira for the federal government every year? No. The entire Hausa Fulani land. Is Igbo land generating just 1 trillion naira? No. Is Kanuri land generating 1 trillion naira? No. Not even the Middle Belt. But one local government in Yoruba land generates 15 trillion naira that goes to the federal government. Who should control that federal government? Yoruba. We don't do zoning, and we are warning people because we have read some of the stupid statements from Igbo saying that Igbo people should support Tinubu, and after Tinubu 8 years, it will be the turn of the Igbo. We are not doing zoning. We are the owner of the wealth in Nigeria. We are going to rule everybody. The same way the Caucasian in America rule over African Americans. We Yoruba will rule over the Fulani, will rule over Hausa, will rule over Igbo in Nigeria. The same way the English, because they are the majority in the United Kingdom, they are also the economic backbone of the United Kingdom. They rule over Scottish, they rule over Welsh, they rule over Northern Irish. We Yoruba in Nigeria, we will rule over Hausa, we will rule over Igbo, we will rule over Fulani. We will always produce the leadership of Nigeria. That is how it is done, because we are the one that is sustaining Nigeria. Never again are we ever going to allow Yoruba best brain to waste away abroad. In our radio interview that I did yesterday, YYF Radio, I said this. They asked me if I've ever regretted anything since we started this movement. I said yes. I regretted ever happened to live in England. I became useless. I couldn't attain my full human potential. In my early 20s, I was already working in oil and gas in Yoruba land. I moved down to Standard Chartered Bank. From Standard Chartered Bank, I was picked by Financial Derivative and Investment Bank to be assistant manager in charge of fund and portfolio management. I was under 30. I came to England, I became horrible. I faced discrimination. For 7 years, I couldn't walk. I was waiting for a paper to walk. I struggled with immigration. That was the greatest regret I have in my life. Why should the best of Yoruba brain be abroad? No, it shows how irresponsible our parents have become. This is not digressing. Yesterday I was with a lawyer because the police have charged me for racial hatred in 4 of my 520 videos. So I wanted a second opinion because I don't like to lose a case, and I will not lose this case. I've won 2 other cases before, and I'm going to win this because I've not done what they have accused me of. So I went to that lawyer for a second opinion. It happens to be a Nigerian lawyer. I thought he was Ghanaian when I approached to speak to him. So we spoke at length. He said to me the loopholes, that this is the wrong thing that the Crown prosecution has done by charging me because this is all politics. And at the end of the day, he said to me, I was surprised. He said to me, I know you very well. I watched your video. You're very brilliant. And he said, you have to calm down, otherwise you might be deported. I sat down. I've heard about this thing since I came to this country. Deportation, deportation, deportation. And I said to him, do you think with what I'm doing, I will be scared of going and living in Yoruba land? The only reason why I don't want to go to Yoruba land is because I'm going to end up in prison. Because Fulani minority are in power. They just pick me up from the airport and put me in Kirikiri for as long as they desire. And I said to him that if I were to be an African American, will you have suggested that I'm going to be deported? If I'm deported from England back to America, America is better developed than England. And I said to him that if I were to be a Japanese or a Chinese, would I be worried about deportation? No. You think that because I'm black and Yoruba, I will be scared of deportation. I don't live a good life in England. I face discrimination. I have been assaulted by the police before. I've been locked up in prison twice. I've been locked up in police cell 8 times. Do you think I enjoy this? I do not. I don't like this country. I want the English to face the same thing that we Yoruba are facing in England. We wash toilets with PhD, with master's degree, with Bachelor of Science degree. We do care work. Secondary school dropout. Majority of them have never been to university, yet they work in our oil and gas. They work in our financial and capital market as well as our foreign estate market. They are the concessionaire managing our port. They control our beer production. They control other commodities in Yoruba land. They are living large on our wealth, controlling our crude oil. We should expel them, and we have been advocating for that. So you see, guys, it is because we have not taken the power of the presidency. That is why people threaten us with deportation. That's why people think that we just want to live and die abroad. When Jonathan was there, my friends who were Ibeju were on scholarship to the best university abroad. Buhari is there now. Hausa Fulani, who contributed next to nothing to the wealth generated in Nigeria. They are in the best university getting scholarship. In Nigeria, they don't travel abroad. Hausa Fulani, they control our military, they control our police, they control our immigration, they control our port, they control our prison, they control the tax revenue collected. Because their people are in power. It's a simple thing that people like Gani Adam cannot understand. Horrible people like Yinka Odumaki, who is married to Igbo, cannot understand. So they tell you if Tinubu is there, nothing will change. A lot will change. People like us will not live in England and be arrested by their police. Yoruba will never be threatened with deportation if Tinubu takes the presidency of Nigeria. We want a full-blooded Yoruba to be the president of Nigeria. These guys are telling us shit things because they are not highly educated. That is it. It is the truth. If you are not highly educated, you cannot be sensible. That is why you see politicians in America, in England, they are always highly educated people. So why should anybody threaten Yoruba citizen with deportation? Do you know how many wealth that the English are stealing in Yoruba land because of this unitary system? Do you know this company, Maersk? Maersk, I think it's a Danish company that operates in our port in Lagos. If we suspend their operational license, the entire Denmark economy will collapse. The Danish economy is built on the wealth generated from Apapa War and Tinker Port. If we stop the operational license of Maersk in Yoruba land, Danish economy will collapse. And you Yoruba, they are threatening you with deportation because you are not educated. Those of us who are highly educated, we know the information, we are not worried. The only reason why me Adeyinka grandson is not in Nigeria is because of arrest. Put Tinubu there. You will see us. And we will be in this government. Horrible Yoruba Libra, dehumanizing Yoruba people. Apapa local government as the richest local government in Nigeria. But you know something, folks? That local government is the richest, but it is the poorest in terms of development. A local government that generates 15 trillion naira every year. Go and look at the roads there. Go and look at the infrastructure there. Shambo. The Fulani and the Igbo are stealing our wealth. That is why they don't want unitary system to change. If we go back to regional government, Apapa local government wealth will stay in Yoruba land for Yoruba development. Because of lack of quality education from people like Iba Gani Adam, from people like Inka Odumaki, from horrible people like Femi Fani-Kayode, Akin Osuntokun, this one, Mogadi, Boyega Mogadi, stupid people. Because of the quality of their mind that is porous, they can't get it. They don't want Yoruba to take the presidency. They say they want restructuring. Why is it that your Jonathan that you were working with refused to give you restructuring? You think Fulani will give you restructuring? You think Igbo will give you restructuring? People who are stealing Yoruba wealth. Fulani, they will just do like this to the English. English will come with their weapon. We're going to deal with English. We're going to nationalize their businesses. I said this in my interview with them. They watched my video. We're going to nationalize Standard Chartered Bank. We're going to take Guinness Nigerian PLC. We're going to take Cadbury from them. We're going to take PricewaterhouseCoopers. But we're smart. We're going to give these businesses to America. We're going to give these businesses to Israeli. We're going to give these businesses to Portugal, to French companies, and to the German companies. If you don't, folks, we are going to be sanctioned. And if we are sanctioned, we're going to be poor. We have to be smart. It is the English that we have problem with. And we must deal with them. Because they are white doesn't mean that we have to hate all white people. No. We are not offended by Bulgaria, are we? We are not offended by Portuguese people. We are not offended by Spanish people. We are not offended by all these other white nations. It is the English that is making life difficult for the Yoruba nation. They are the people that we must face. And we will defeat them. David Cameron came to Lagos some time ago when he was a sitting prime minister. He said that we're giving Nigeria AIDS. I was laughing at the guy. Who are you fooling? You control my crude oil. You control my port. You're stealing the wealth of the Yoruba. In return, you give us stipend from what you have stolen. You said you are giving us AIDS. No, we want America to be involved. We would rather have the United States of America take part of our wealth than have English dominate us or control our wealth. We must be able to pick and choose our friends. We will never be successful as a people and as a nation if we do not court the friendship of the United States. They are powerful. You can't joke with people who are brilliant, who have wealth, and who are powerful, military-wise. Apapa local government, what it generates in a year, Igbo land plus Hausa land plus Kanuri land plus Middle Belt, they do not generate such a wealth. That is coming from one local government. And you are telling me Yoruba should not be president of Nigeria. when we are the economic backbone of Nigeria. Folks, we are going to go to war. Don't let anybody pretend to you. The English went to war because the Germans wanted to occupy their land. And in war, people die. A lot of people will die in Nigeria because we will get back our freedom and our liberty. But we need America. We need Israel. And we must be willing to share part of our wealth with the United States. How many Hausa Fulani have been living in England for well over 10 years? How many Hausa Fulani are washing toilets like the Yoruba? How many Hausa Fulani are driving trains? How many Hausa Fulani are driving buses? How many Hausa Fulani are doing horrible jobs in England? None. Yet they are not well educated. But they are all everywhere in Yoruba land, taking all over our jobs. That's why they want this unitary system to continue. We will go to war and our weapon of choice is chemical and biological weapon. It is. So we're asking young Yoruba to go to the laboratory and produce chemical and biological weapons. Because the Fulani control our ports in Lagos. They control our waterways from Lagos to Ogun, to Ondo, to Ishekiri land. They are using our waterways to bring conventional weapons out. We did not circulate this to you. There's a latest research. What was imported from China in the first 6 months of this year? It has been released by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. Number one top was guns. Guns is the topmost import from China. Gun. Fulani are stockpiling guns to kill you. You have to go to the laboratory and produce chemical and biological weapons. They control our port. They won't allow us to bring in conventional weapons. We have to lobby America, and we are very gratifying that the Yoruba governor are already giving businesses to American companies. We challenged Lagos state government. We wanted to be using Oyster card. In England, we have Oyster card. It's our ticket for public transportation. Lagos state government wanted to do the same thing, and they awarded the contract to an English business. We went against it. No, you cannot be given business and contract to people who hate you. English don't like the Yoruba, they like Fulani. So we have to give such contract to Israeli companies, to American companies, to Portuguese companies, to French companies, to German companies, not English companies. They don't like you. Why do you think they are charging me for racial hatred when they realize that I'm not a terrorist? They are working for Fulani, that's why they charge me with racial hatred. I have produced 520 videos. They single out 4 and say, hey, you're using inflammatory language, yeah, we're going to take you to court. They're trying to protect the interests of the Fulani. We will nationalize English business in Lagos and across Yoruba land. We're challenging them. They don't have wealth anymore because the development in their country is already saturated. But there's so much development still stagnant in Yoruba land because our wealth has been stolen. So we are still developing. We need the support of the United States. The reason why Igbo and Fulani are against a return to regional government is for them to continue to control our Papa local government. And they are not looking up to Ibeju Lekki local government. Folks, the reason why Yoruba will go to war in this decade is the unitary system. A lot of people will die, unfortunately. You can't suppress and subjugate a people forever. The Irish generation in 1801 who signed up to the Union with the English, with the Scottish, and with the Welsh. That generation was different to the generation who went to war with the English in 1922. Because my parent generation has been so silly, so stupid, doesn't make that my generation will be silly and stupid. Because my parent generation were carrying placards in the face of guns and armor tank, doesn't mean that my own generation will also carry placard to be shot and killed by Fulani who has guns. When the English came to Yoruba land in 1851, they came with gun. When the Igbos suspended the regional government in 1966, they suspended the regional government with guns. When Fulani took over government from Igbo in July 1966, they came with guns. If we must be free as a people, there must be organized violence. Don't let anybody pretend to you English are always using organized violence. Why do they want to try me in court? Because they realize that the rate at which the Yoruba nationalism is growing, if they don't stop it, we would destroy their business interests in Yoruba land. And that is what we are going to do. We would destroy English business interests across Yoruba land. In their country, they have the power, they have the law, they have the right to so do anything to you if you are not English. We have that same right to do anything to anybody who is not Yoruba in Yoruba land. So that is the reason why the Yoruba government must embrace the idea of deportation. We must use that as a means to deport people we don't like in our space. It shouldn't be only Yoruba that will be threatened with deportation all across the world. That people cannot speak their mind, they will be threatened with deportation. We must learn to deport people. We must embrace tit-for-tat policy. That was why the English expelled 23 Russian diplomats. The Russians did the same thing. Recently, the United States of America closed down Chinese consulate in Eastern. Chinese did the same thing to the U.S. consulate in their country. That's how you roll as a people. That's how you are going to be respected. Look at what Ngige said, that he is a VI boy, that he lives in VI, Victoria Island, that Faleke is a Moshe boy. Ngige is an immigrant in Yoruba land. Come down to London, come and see where Yoruba are living. Deprived community. Go to Peckham, you will see them. Yoruba live in 2 local governments in London, Southwark and Greenwich. They live in Peckham. Peckham is one of the most deprived community in London. That's why you have 75% of Yoruba living in deprived community. So why should foreigners, Igbo, English, non-Yoruba, should live in Ikoyi, should live in Victoria Island, should ever live in Lekki? This is one thing that the Yoruba Libra don't get. They are just too horrible as a people. They are very horrible. We Yoruba who are living in London, we live in deprived community of London. Why should English who live in Yoruba should live in Lekki? Why should they live in Victoria Island? Why should they live in Ajah and Lekki? They should live in our deprived area too. Why must we allow Igbo to live in the best of our space? That is why Ngige is condemning Faleke, saying that Faleke lives in Moshe, that he lives in Victoria Island, immigrants. You don't know the enormous of power you have in Yoruba. Until you embrace organized violence, you will never be free. You will never be free. People who want to destroy you are using violence against you. You want to embrace them. Look at what this guy said, Pastor Sulaiman. I was watching that video. He says in that video that if you find that somebody hated you so much, wants to destroy you, cut them off. He said it's in the Bible. But you see Igbo killing Yoruba. We are allowing Igbo free entry into Yoruba land. Igbo are coming to do crimes in Yoruba land. We are allowing them free entry into Yoruba land. Fulani are killing Yoruba political leaders. Fulani control our police. Fulani control our military. Fulani control everything in Yoruba land. We allow them to continue to rule Nigeria. Cut them off. We're taking the presidency in 2023, and if they refuse, because the only people that can stop the Yoruba nation from controlling the presidency in 2023 is the English. They know that if we take the presidency in 2023, we'll sever relationship with them. We will undermine their business interests. They know. Many of you don't know that Obasanjo was once deported from England, but you don't know he was once deported. When he became head of state, first term, in 1975, he nationalized all English businesses. When he came back for the second time and the third time, he was giving contract to his CIA friends. Because it's half Igbo, half Yoruba, that is why he couldn't use the leverage he had with the CIA to make Yoruba land great, because he's an Igbo man. Imagine us. having relationship with America. Imagine Tinubu having good working relationship with President Trump. He's going to make Yoruba land great. So we're going to go to war. Don't let anybody pretend to you. War is coming to Nigeria. I keep imagining every now and then. You understand? I keep asking myself, what is the best way to deal with the Yoruba Libra? And I found the answer to how the Libra were dealt with in America and even in England. And that is what we are going to do to the Yoruba Libra, who want to come and undermine us. Let me say to you what Yinka Odumakin just stated today. It's horrible. You know, he's married to an Igbo. That's why he continued to antagonize Tinubu. He says, Afenifere is considering an alliance with Tinubu come 2023 to move Nigeria forward. That's what he said. This is the same man that has always been antagonizing, condemning Tinubu. They speak from both mouths because we have been very, very vocal and confrontational that we would take the war to their doorstep. People who want to, I'm a full-blooded Yoruba citizen. Both of my parents are Yoruba. I'm not half Yoruba. That's why we love our own nation. That's why we want the best for our own nation. This is what he's saying now. You know what Chief Fasoroti said? Who is the leader of the Afenifere Libra wing? Afenifere is divided into two. They have the conservative wings that support the Yoruba APC. They have the Libra wings that support the Yoruba PDP. Chief Fasoroti is the leader of the Afenifere Libra wing. He said that Tinubu ma wa nba mi o ma ndobale fún mi. Ibeju ba fẹ́ jẹ president, àwọn ma support it. Why is it that these guys are changing? It is because of you conservative young Yoruba, because we're taking the fight to their doorstep. That's why they are changing. And if we do not show them, believe you me, they are going to shock us by 2023. Because they might just go and canvass for another Fulani after they've been paid money. So whether you are supporting Tinubu or not, we are going to show you for the statement that you have made in the past. Whether you are saying anything new, you must be dealt with. So that we need to teach the Libras in Yoruba land to think Yoruba first. You will see how we're going to undermine Iba Gani Adam. I'm still using Iba Gani Adam before his name, right? You will see how we're going to undermine him. When we raise the issue, and I say this, you know this, when the police arrested me for terrorism here, I met with him. I contacted him. He was saying to me that I'm working for Tinubu, that I should go and get money from Tinubu. And I said to him, so look, the kind of politics we play in YYF is different from all the politics that you are playing. I don't need to be asking Tinubu for money before I can support him. He has done greatly for the Yoruba nation. I have been arrested by the police. I needed to pay my legal fee. I have approached you because you and I are very close. You and I discuss almost twice every other month. I don't talk to Tinubu like I do talk to you. Why will you be accusing me of being paid by Tinubu? All of a sudden to be attacking me, antagonizing me, that if I do not sever my relationship with Tinubu, it will undermine my security. That's why we came out and said, look, this is a movement. We will undermine you as a person, and we will undermine your office if you are not going to come around and think Yoruba first. We said to him, if you work with Tinubu, you will control the security within Yoruba land. All of them are not changing tone now. Yinka Odumaki is talking rubbish. He's talking rubbish regardless of the fact. So don't fall for their gimmicks. Libra talk from both of their mouths. Look at Femi Fanikaude, the way he speaks, horribly stupid man. I'm hiding one information to the public of what Femi Fanikaude and Deji Adeyanju did to me through Jonathan. And I will speak about that very, very soon in future. They know what they did to me. They know. So all of them are trying to change their tunes. We must not back down. We will make sure we want to undermine our greatness. will be finished. Will be finished, believe you me. We're accusing these guys. Tinubu is not your party member. He's in APC. Stop condemning him. Bring out the candidate from your PDP that is Yoruba that you want to contest the election with Tinubu. Then we will be proud of you. They're not. But regardless of this side talk that I have to talk about this Libra, fortunately, the office of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò has been compromised by the Yoruba Libra. Let us abandon them for the time being. Let's roll with this address. Folks, by 2025, Apapa local government will no longer be the richest local government in Nigeria. It will not. The position will be taken over by the Ibeju Lekki local government by 2025. Let me say to you something before I talk about the 9 reasons why Ibeju Lekki local government area will be the richest local government in Nigeria. Before I talk about that, while I was preparing for this, let me say to you about this research on Ibeju Lekki. We did this research last year. I was expected to speak on this research, but then police arrested me in August. And they took everything in my house, every electronics, including my clothing, all my books, particularly the manuscript of my new book. The title of the book is Organized Violence. They took everything. So I waited for 8 months for them to do their investigation. Hopefully they will return things to me. They did not, so I went to court. I challenged them. They asked me to continue to use social media. They asked me then, I gave them about 2-3 months again for them to conclude their investigation. I wrote to them, I said, I need my electronics. I can't do anything. I don't have my computer, I don't have my tablet, I don't have my phone. Give me. So they said, okay, come and take your things. When I got there, they charged me with racial hatred. They just returned some of my few things back to me. So because of that, I was forced to go and buy a new computer. Now because I put a lot of my things on the iCloud, so the moment I got my new computer and I put my email address and password there, I was able to get this speech that I'm making. I had the Ibeju Lekki speech and then the currency manipulation and another speech. I was able to obtain them. But I have to now review this because the research that was done last year, we need new information now. So I have to review this. Believe you me, folks, it's something that is so painful that comes to mind. By 2025, my son will be an adult. 2025. And I said to myself, with all the wealth that will be coming from the Ibeju Lekki local government, $5 billion every year. If my son continues to live in England, there are possibilities that before 2025, he might be stopped and searched by the police in England because he's a male, because of his ethnicity as Yoruba, because of his race as a black boy. Before 2025, my son could be arrested by the police in this country and locked up in police cell because he's a male, because of his ethnicity as Yoruba, because of his race as a black boy. Before 2025, the police could put my son in prison in this country because he's a male, because of his ethnicity as Yoruba, because of his race as a black boy. I would have been a failure if I allowed this to happen to my son. The only way that this possibility will not happen to my son is if Tinubu takes the presidency in 2023. Or if a full-blooded Yoruba citizen who is conservative takes the leadership of Nigeria in 2023. Then we will be able to control the $5 billion that will be coming from Ibeju Lekki local government. And I will be able to convince my son for us to go back to our homeland. Some of you might say that I'm very extreme in my view. I challenge you to read this book, Heart of the Shadow, written by the current governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. I read it many years ago, more than 5-6 years ago. In that book, he was having a conversation with his children who were in primary school then. And another was in secondary school. His children were telling him that, Daddy, we want to go back home. We're facing discrimination in class. He wrote it in that book. This is what we face when we live abroad, folks. It's not very pleasant when you leave your home to live abroad as an immigrant. And from that book, he took his children, Dr. Kayode, the governor, he took his children first to Ghana. I don't know where they are now. He wrote everything in that book. If my son continues to live in England, believe you me, he's likely going to be stopped and searched by their police in this country. It's likely going to be locked up in police cell. In my book that I'm writing on my personal experience in England, I titled it Adeyinka Grandson, a Yoruba man in England. The very first time police came to my house in 2015 to arrest me, they put me in handcuffs in the presence of my son. My son was kicking at them. My daughter was crying. My daughter was 5. My son was 7. And I said to the police, don't put me in handcuffs in the presence of my children. I don't like it. They deliberately put me in handcuffs in the presence of my children. You know the message they were passing to my son? That it is cool to have handcuffs. They want my son to see it as nothing big. But I'm a Yoruba prince. I'm a Yoruba citizen. It is not cool to have handcuffs. And I've been put in handcuffs 8 times of my life because I've been arrested 8 times by the police. I don't want my children to live in England. I face hell in this country. The greatest regret in my life is that I live in England. You don't know what we face, guys. That is why we're passionate to develop Yoruba land, so that our children can live in our homeland. The same way the Caucasians, their children are living in America. Look at President Trump. He's in the same age bracket as my father. President Trump can see his children because they all live in America. He can see his grandchildren because they all live in America. He can see his great-grandchildren because they all live in America. My father does not have that luxury. His children are scattered all over the world. His grandchildren are scattered all over the world. I don't think he has great-grandchildren. Maybe he has, I don't know. But I'm not very sure. You see, the Caucasians built America. That's why they are living there. We need to build Yoruba land. Otherwise, the best of our brain will be abroad, suffering, wasting away. So guys, how is Ibeju Lekki going to generate $5 billion every year from 2025? Before I again talk about this, let me sharpen your insight into 2 things that are destroying Yoruba land as a nation. 2 things, and we will correct this. We will correct this. We will correct this, folks. 2 things are destroying Yoruba land. Number 1 is the unregulated influx of the Igbo to Yoruba land. Mass migration of the Igbo to Yoruba land is the number 1 thing that is destroying us. Number 2 thing that is destroying the Yoruba nation is the seizure of the Yoruba wealth and resources by the minority Fulani through the unitary system introduced by the Igbo. So if you look at these 2 things that I've stated, unitary system is the greatest weapon used in destroying Yoruba land. If you want to rebuild Yoruba land, we must return back to regional government. We must replace this unitary system. Because of the unitary system, there is mass migration of the Igbo into Yoruba land. Because of the unitary system, the Fulani have seized our wealth and resources. The Fulani control our police, they control our military, they control our custom, they control our immigration, they control our prison, they control our borders, they control the taxes, they control the businesses, they control our life, they control our education, they control our cinema, they control our court system, everything. So if we want to be great, we must reject that unity system. So these are the two things that are destroying the Yoruba nation. Our political class, they have contributed into this nonsense. I keep saying to people, you know, a lot of Libra, they watch our videos. They have no ideas of what we're discussing. They just roll with some of the things they fancy. Because they've not thought through these things the way we've thought through them. They just do shit with it. We've been saying that there is a need for a third force in Yoruba political system. We have the APC Yoruba, we have the PDP Yoruba. We must relegate the PDP Yoruba to the third position. There is need for SDP, COA Party, AD, Labour Party, and the rest of them like that to join forces and become the third force, but they will be in second position, to be conservative in their outlook and in all they do. Without that, we risk the horrible Liberal PDP gaining power in Yoruba land. There is a need to have another political party that will be able to make APC Yoruba to be reasonable, to sit up at all times. Because there are occasions that the APC Yoruba don't sit up, like the irresponsible action of the governor of Ondo State, Akeredolu, who have allowed his wife, an Igbo woman, to misappropriate public fund to appropriate political position in favor of the Igbo in Ondo State. We need conservative to create another party that will always make the APC Yoruba to be reasonable. So our political class, they are complicit in this by allowing the mass migration of the Igbo into Yoruba land and the seizure of the Yoruba world. So if we have a party that is saying to the electorate in Yoruba land, if you vote for us, we will stop the mass migration of the Igbo. Believe you me, this party will win election. If we have this third party that is saying to the electorate that if you vote for us, we will take back your wealth from the Fulani, they will win election hands down. And this party will make APC to sit up. That's why we are appealing to the APC that our core voters are in the villages and town and hamlets. They need security of lives and properties. They need free and qualitative education. They need free and qualitative health care. They need job security. They need affordable housing. These are the people that will always be voting for our party. So we need to provide all of this for them. So as citizen of a nation, has responsible government, they will always enjoy 10 basic human rights. This is what we are appealing to the APC Yoruba to ensure. But we cannot blame them outrightly because they are not providing these 10 basic human rights for the citizen of Yoruba nation currently because they are yet to take the power at the center. They cannot do anything because the Fulani are controlling the presidency. The Fulani are controlling the National Assembly. The Fulani are controlling the military. The Fulani controls everything with the backing of the English. But the APC can as well not do so much to stop the mass migration of the Igbo because they don't control the center. If you have Tinubu as the president of Nigeria today, definitely there will be regulation of the mass migration of the Igbo into Yoruba land. If you have Tinubu as the president of Nigeria today, definitely Fulani will no longer control the military bases in Yoruba land. Fulani will no longer control the police in Yoruba land. Fulani will no longer control our borders in Yoruba land. Fulani will no longer control our immigrations in Yoruba land. Go to immigration offices across Yoruba land. Go to our custom offices and commerce across Yoruba land. It is Igbo and Hausa Fulani that are there. Why am I living in England? These are some of the jobs that we Yoruba should be doing. Sometimes ago I spoke about a minimum salary of 50,000 naira. Minimum. Somebody said to me, I said that if we do that, a number of Yoruba will come back home. Somebody said to me, I'm crazy. Who will come home because of 50,000 naira? That was supposed to be part of my lecture, political speech on manipulation of foreign exchange. 50,000 naira will be equivalent to 50,000 pounds if we manipulate the exchange rate. And we would do that. We're not producing anything. I see no reason why we have to devalue our currency. You know, it was when YYS spoke against the ECO currency, the West African currency, that the federal government of Nigeria spoke against it. Before I spoke on that ECO currency, already the federal government of Nigeria has already embraced and adopted it. But we spoke out against it, and the federal government changes its mind. YYF is very strong because of the quality of its leadership. I'm an economist by excellence. I know this in total. Yoruba people are very brilliant. So we have the state of mind. So there are hindrances for why APC Yoruba cannot do so much. But if we take the presidency in 2023, we will be able to provide the 10 basic human rights which every responsible government must provide to their own people. It is not limited to these 10, but I've limited it to these 10 so that you understand where we're coming from. What are these 10 basic human rights that we are not enjoying in Yoruba land? But these are basic, very elementary. But APC Yoruba cannot do much because they are yet to control the center. PDP Yoruba, they have always been at the center since 1960. They worked with Tafawa Balewa and the Igbo in 1962 up to 1966. They were part of the military before the military handed over in 1979 to Shehu Shagari. The Yoruba Liberals, who we call PDP today, they were part of Shehu Shagari government. When they left, they were part of the military government. When we came back to democracy in 1999, the Yoruba Liberals were in power at the federal level. They left power in 2015 when the conservative Yoruba got power. Do you understand? The Yoruba Liberals, they have always been at the center since 1960. But the conservative Yoruba gained power only in 2015 by the alliance of Tinubu and Buhari. We are now hoping to get the presidency from 2023. What are these 10 basic human rights that we lack in Yoruba land? Number one is marriage and family. Every grown-up has the right to marry and have a family if they want to. Men and women have the same right when they are married and when they are separated. If you look at the quality of marriage and family in Yoruba land now since the suspension of regional government, a number of our people cannot get married. Ordinarily, a lady of 18 to 21 should be married. That used to be the norms when we had regional government. But today, our ladies in Yoruba land got married between the ages of 27 and 32, which is too late. Ordinarily, under regional government, our men were getting married at the age of 21, maximum 25. But since the introduction of the unitary system, our men in Yoruba land are getting married at the age of 29, 32. It's way too long. It is affecting the productivities of the Yoruba nation. In the long run, we will have aged population, where we have older people, like the problem they are facing in Japan. Because our women and our men can't get married when they were young. So that basic right is no longer there. The second one is the right to your own things. Everyone has the right to own things or share them. Nobody should take our things from us without a good reason. Under regional government, Awolowo wanted to build ports in Benin axis. The feasibility report says that that port is not viable. Awolowo had already secured 100 million pounds for that project. He divided that money into two. He gave 50 million to Edo, Urobo, and Ishekiri people to fund various projects in their respective states. And he used the remaining balance of 50 million to further develop Apapa Wharf. By 1975, Fulani took that port away from us. Muritala Mohammed, he signed a decree taking the port away from Yoruba hand. Today, our port is being controlled by Hausa Fulani federal government. The right to your own things has been taken away from us. We built Liberty Stadium with our wealth from the taxes paid in Yoruba land. But Liberty Stadium in Ibadan has been taken over by the federal government. We have no right to our own things any longer. We built the stock exchange. It has been taken away from us. We built the Lagos International Airport. It has been taken away from us. All our farm settlement has been taken away from us. The taxes paid in Yoruba land has been taken away from us. Everything now goes to Abuja. So the second basic human right, the right to your own thing, has been taken away from us. So we need the presidency of Tinubu to get these basic things back. I recollect something when I was talking about the rights to your own things. A number of things has been taken away from us. I will use this opportunity to say at this moment that the Yoruba nation will change the name of Victoria Island to Moremi Island. Victoria Island was named after Queen Victoria, who was the Queen of England from the 20th of June 1837 to January 22nd, 1901. This consciousness came to mind when the immigrant Ngige was abusing another Yoruba because he claimed to have lived in Victoria Island. Victoria Island is named after the former Queen of England. My generation will replace and change that name to Moremi Island. We can no longer have English names in our space. And these are people who have done everything humanly possible to destroy the Yoruba civilization. So folks, we will change that Victoria Island to Moremi Island. Muritala Mohammed International Airport, we are going to revert the name back to either Lagos International Airport or change it to Obafemi Awolowo Airport or Oduduwa Airport, whichever suits the government in power that will eventually change it. Our stock exchange, when we founded it on the 15th of September 1960, we call it Lagos Stock Exchange. In America, it is called New York Stock Exchange. In England, it is called London Stock Exchange. We will change the name back to the Lagos Stock Exchange. Amodu Bello Way, we will remove that name and change it to Fela Anikulapo Scottish Way or Fela Anikulapo's Way. Third Mainland Bridge will be named after Olayinka Abat Macaulay. We will call it Abat Macaulay Bridge and change it away from Third Mainland Bridge. But one that suits my heart is that as Yoruba people, the English have done everything humanly possible to destroy our civilization, to ruin us. We cannot afford to name Victoria Island after the former Queen of England. that name has to be changed. The English enslaved us for 100 years, 1851 to 1951. And since the English left in 1960, they have been supporting Fulani with military weapons to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. We cannot respect the people who want our destruction. So we are going to rename Victoria Island after Moremi. So that is just an addition. Now let me go on to the 10 basic human rights that we are lacking in Yoruba land before I speak properly about how Ibeju Lekki will generate $5 billion every year. Number 3 of the 10 basic human rights that we lack in Yoruba land is the freedom of thought. Freedom of thought. We all have the right to believe in what we want to believe, to have a religion, or to change it if we want. It's a big problem that we are having in Yoruba land. People cannot express their thoughts. You will recollect when Buhari was bedridden in a London hospital. That was when Nnamdi Kanu was running riots all over Nigeria. Ibeju was the acting president. Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB would do protest, will make statements, will express their thought with no arrest, with no harassment whatsoever. But the moment Buhari came back from hospital, he approved for military to go and attack Nnamdi Kanu. A number of Igbo were killed. Under the Yoruba presidency from 2023, there will be freedom of thought, which we are currently lacking. Ibeju, as an acting president, has shown beyond every reasonable doubt that when we take the power in 2023, there will be freedom of thought for everyone. People like us will be able to speak our mind without fear of arrest or detention. And the irresponsible English police who arrest me will not have the temerity and the effrontery to arrest me and charge me to court for racial hatred when I'm not doing anything against their own interests in their own country, when I'm simply fighting for the future of my children. When we have Tinubu presidency, there will be freedom of thought in Nigeria, which we currently lacking. Look at what Buhari did. He became president 29th of May 2015, and less than a year after, he ordered for fighter jets to be bombing Ogun and Lekki creeks, Ogun and Lagos creeks, because he said that he was looking for oil bunkers. Something that could have been addressed by the police. In the process, over 500 Yoruba youth were killed. There is no freedom in Nigeria because we allow minority Fulani to preside over the affair of Nigeria. There is no country in the world where minority rules. Who is responsible for the nonsense that is going on in Nigeria is the English politicians who are giving weapons to the Fulani to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba people. When Ibeju was there, you Igbo, you had freedom of thought. But in your irresponsible nature, it is the Fulani who have always been killing you that you are continuing to vote for. That is why you are going to be destroyed in Yoruba land. Number 4 basic things that we lack in Yoruba nation today is freedom of expression. We all have the right to make up our minds, to think what we like, to say what we think, and to share our ideas with other people. We lack that in Yoruba land. People will sit up and say that we don't want unitary system. They will be shot and killed by the Fulani. They have the right to freedom of expression. If Tinubu is there, you can express anything. It will not call for your killing. We agreed to a regional system of government between 1957 and 1959. We put it in our constitution. Igbo and Fulani destroyed that constitution. Folks, if you do not know, I don't think you will know this. In South Africa, 12th, 13th, and 16th amendment to their constitution, they used to have 4 regions, which they call provinces. The 4 regions were divided into 9 regions of today. And the 9 regions of South Africa are Eastern Cape, Free State, Gauteng region, KwaZulu-Natal region, Limpopo region, Mpumalanga region, Northwest region, Northern Cape region, and Western Cape region. They used to have 4 provinces. They amended their constitution. The 12th, 13th, and 16th amendment of their constitution divided these 4 into 9 regions. That was the same thing we agreed when we were writing the constitution of Nigeria in Lancaster House here in London. We agreed that the 3 regions, the northern region, the western region, and the eastern region, shall become 10 after independence. So on the 1st of April, 1961, or thereabout, I will all move the motion that the northern region be divided into 5, and they named them as Hausa Fulani region, Kanuri region, Western Middle Belt, Central Middle Belt, and Eastern Middle Belt. So the northern region will be divided into 5. The western region, where we have the Yoruba region, will be divided into 2, the Yoruba region and the Midwest region, making 7. The eastern region, where you have the Igbo, will be divided into 3, Igbo region, Ijo region, and Efikibibio region, making 10 regions. This was agreed in 1959, that after independence, the 3 regions in Nigeria will become 10. But what happened? The Igbo and Hausa Fulani rejected this. They destroyed Nigeria. It is the same thing that happened in South Africa. They had 4 provinces before, which is regions. And they all agreed that these 4 will become 9 regions. And they amended their constitution 3 times to accommodate this. But what do you have today? The Igbo and Fulani have destroyed that regional system of government, introduced unity system that is stealing our wealth, created 36 ridiculous states. Iba Gani Adam, Yinka Odumakin, Ayo Adebanjo, Tunde Bakari, and all the other liberals. They participated in the Jonathan National Conference of 2014. Rather than for them to subscribe to regional government, all of them increased the state from 36 to 54. Yet today, Iba Gani Adam wants to tell us that he has an idea of how to grow the economy of Yoruba land. Today, he and his group, they call themselves Yoruba Summit Group, are issuing stupid statement saying that there would not be election without restructuring. When you participated in the Jonathan National Conference, what nonsense did you achieve? Rubbish. People who are not sincere should never speak for the Yoruba nation. And I say this, only elected politicians should speak for the Yoruba nation. The Liberals are going to have interview with Sunday Igboho. Sunday Igboho is an ordinary professional soldier that will have to be dictated to by the political leaders who are elected. Iba Gani Adam is a professional soldier. He cannot speak for the Yoruba nation. You just think it is everybody that must have a voice. No. We elected certain leaders to be our representatives. And currently the APC Yoruba has the majority in Yoruba land. It is the party that must speak for the Yoruba nation. The PDP, if truly they want regional government, don't send idiots to come and be speaking for you. Speak officially as the PDP. Let your leader in Yoruba land speak publicly and say you want to do a republic. Don't send Iba Gani Adam, don't send Yinka Odumaki, don't send Ayo Adebanjo, who have been paid for by PDP to rant rubbish in public. Everything they do, this Libra, when they were talking about Amotekun, they are expecting Tinubu to speak. They want to do a republic. They want Tinubu to speak. Why don't you do it yourself? There is no freedom of expression. As a human being, we all have the right to make up our own minds, to think what we like, to say what we think and to share our ideas with other people. This is what the young Yoruba for Freedom is doing. And this is what we are proud of. Unfortunately, the irresponsible police arrested me and charged me for racial hatred because I speak my mind. These are people that I live in their country for 7 years. They refuse to give me immigration paper to work and take care of my sick son. These are people that I cannot be employed as the governor of Bank of England. Is that not racial hatred? But there's no racism in the world, believe you me. We are all practicing self-preservation. I love my children more than any other. I love Yoruba land more than any other nation. I have benefited greatly from England, particularly from their NHS and their justice, Ministry of Justice, believe you me. They have one of the fantastic justice system. Their judiciary is the top notch, believe you me. I have been to trial, 2 crown court trials, and I won. Because the judges are not actually looking at the color of my skin. They're looking at the evidence before them. You came to my house and arrested me for terrorism. I just said to you, I don't do terrorism. I know where this allegation is coming from. I made 3 allegations. I said, if this is not coming from my ex-wife, it's coming from the federal government of Nigeria or the Igbo. It turned out to be coming from my ex-wife. Yet they still charge me for racial hatred. Because they didn't find anything with terrorism with me. If I were to be English, do you think they would have arrested me 8 times of my life? No. If I were to be English, do you think they would have charged me to court 3 times of my life? No. They are doing what they are doing because I'm not English. And I do not miss word. This is what I want from English national in Yoruba. I want them to be arrested for fun and be assaulted because the police assaulted me too. They fractured my lower limbs, broke my eye socket. They even threatened me in 2015 that I'm going to be deported. I hate that word. What it says to me, when you say to me that I'm going to be deported, when I know that English and Yoruba is, you're saying to me that I'm a slave, that I have no choice to England, that I cannot live in my own space, my own indigenous homeland. No. No Yoruba citizen anywhere in the world should be threatened with deportation. You can't threaten Caucasians with deportation. Have you ever seen a white American being threatened with deportation in any country? No, because their homeland is great. So you and I must make Yoruba land great. Otherwise our children will face the nonsense and the rubbish that we are facing in foreign lands. Only poor Yoruba should travel abroad, believe you me. Poor Yoruba. If you are brilliant, you are precocious, you are intelligent, you should live in Yoruba land, because all the brilliant Caucasians in America, they are living in that country. All the brilliant English are living in England. They are not going to look for job anywhere. Do you see brilliant American doctors working in Yoruba land? No. But you see brilliant Yoruba doctors working in America. That is retrogression for us. There's no freedom of expression. Number 5 of the 10 basic human rights that we do not have access to in Yoruba land is the right to public assembly. We all have the right to meet our friends and to work together in peace to defend our rights. Nobody can make us join a group we don't want to. The Fulani cannot say to us that Yoruba will have to be part of Nigeria by force. No. In 1535, the English approached the Welsh and said, look, we're neighbors. Can we have a union? The Welsh said, give us time. The Welsh thought about this request for 10 years. So in 1545, they went back to the English and said, yes, we like it. Let us become a union. That was how the legal legislation in England was imposed on the Welsh. Then the Scottish realized that, oh, this is a beautiful union. In 1701, the English approached the Scottish and said, will you like to join our union? The Scottish said, let me talk to my people. So by 1706, the Scottish decided to join the Union, and they changed the name to Great Britain. Then the Irish in 1801 was like, wow, so you have this fantastic relationship. We would like to be part of the Union. Then the Irish joined in 1801. They changed the name to Great Britain and Ireland. The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. That is it. So nobody, when it comes to the right to public assembly, we all have the right to meet our friends and to work together in peace to defend our rights. Nobody can make us join a group if we do not want to. You can't force Yoruba to be part of Nigeria. The United Kingdom was a union between 4 nations. They all decided to be. Nobody was forced. The Irish joined in 1801. By 1922, the Irish said they are leaving, and they left. They formed what is called the Republic of Ireland today. So if you said to Fulani that we, Yoruba, we don't accept this unitary system, the Fulani will say Nigeria is not negotiable. If you talk, we are going to go to war. These people are hopeless. It is because irresponsible English political leaders are supporting them with military weapons. That is why the minority Fulani will say to the Yoruba that you can't break out of Nigeria. People should have rights to public assembly. You can't force anybody to join a union. The Igbo are so ridiculous people. They rant and cry about Biafra. They want to force Ijaw nation to be part of their Biafra. They want to force Urhobo nation to be part of their Biafra. They want to force Edo nation to be part of their Biafra. They want to force Efikibibio to be part of their Biafra. These are hopeless people, Igbo people, criminally minded souls they are. You don't force people to be part of your union. So from 2023, folks, we cannot afford to miss this. If you do, our children will do what we're doing. It will be worse off for them because we are abusing the generation before us, our parent generation. Our children will abuse us too. So we lack these things as a people, the Yoruba people. Number 6 thing that we lack, which comes under the 10 basic human rights, is the right to democracy. Believe you me, we lack this right to democracy. We all have the right to take part in the government of our country. Every grown-up should be allowed to choose their own leaders. That is what democracy is all about. The Yoruba nation deliberately vote for the conservative APC because it has always been this party that's always been fighting for true federalism. Actually, there's nothing called true federalism, it's all federalism. What we are practicing in Nigeria is unitary system that's forcing people together. So there is no legitimate and genuine democracy in Nigeria. Look at what is called the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. They are all white. The English are white, the Scottish are white, the Welsh are white, the Northern Irish are white. They all have white skin, yet they practice regional government. Yet they don't have the same football team. Yet they don't have the same currency design. They don't have the same health care. They don't have the same law. They don't have the same police. They don't have the same military. These people have the same skin color. If we have democracy in Nigeria, why should any reasonable Hausa, Fulani or Igbo say that we are one Nigeria when we do not speak the same language? We don't have the same culture. We don't have the same norms and value system. The fact that we have the same skin color, which is black, does not make us one nation. We're different. I don't hear a word of Hausa. I cannot speak a word of Igbo. Yet, horrible Igbo, criminally minded Igbo, and useless Fulani say that we are one Nigeria. Do you see the English saying that we are one United Kingdom? They always say that we are a country of 4 nations. Nigeria is a country of 15 nations, and we must respect our diversity. There is no democracy in Nigeria. If there is, we will not have a unitary system in a multicultural country. If there is democracy in Nigeria, nobody will be going to the public to protest every now and then and being shot or being arrested. People went to the street to protest for revolution. Their leader was arrested for treason because there is no democracy in Nigeria. It is the English that are giving this boldness to Fulani, believe you me. English are the greatest corrupt nation on earth. Their politicians are corrupt. That's why we are challenging Boris Johnson. Stop threatening people with deportation. Stop threatening people to go back to their country, although Boris Johnson has never said that. Theresa May did that. In the case of Nigeria, if England allows Nigeria to break, 70% of the Yoruba living in their country will return home the same year. 70%. So if they are truly interested in reducing immigrants in their country, they should allow Nigeria to break. We will leave their space. And we expect English to also leave Yoruba land too. Because there are many of them in our space. And they are not doing the dirty job that we do in their home country. So folks, there is no right to democracy in Nigeria. Because you allow minority Fulani to be ruling. Why is it that I will be doing what I'm doing and I will be held up in England? I can come to Yoruba land. I'm simply enlightening the Yoruba people, saying that there is no other option other than for us to go to war if we continue with this unitary system. I should be allowed to say this, and people want to vote for me, so that I can help them to change the course of history. Because there is no democracy in Nigeria, you speak out like this, they put you in prison. And their English friends are helping them, trying to suppress us. Our generation is different from our parent generation. They've thrown everything at us. They attack my family, they are attacking my source of income, but we are not going to back down. Trust me. We understand this. If I want to be a multi-billionaire today, we're going to use gun to do it. We will say to our member to go to the banks in Yoruba land and take the money. Simple. Because it is our money. But they shouldn't push us to get to that level. So we're going to take the presidency in 2023. So that we can have rights to democracy. People should be allowed to choose their own leaders. That is what we're saying to the horrible liberals who call themselves Yoruba Summit Group, saying that they do not wish to participate in election. If you don't participate in election, how do you change government? How do you change policy? They are shouting. These are Ayo Adebanjo, Yinka Odumaki, Iba Gani Adam, Akin Shitokun, and all these PDP stalwarts. They said no election. They want restructuring. There is no Igbo, whether dead or alive, that will give Nigeria restructuring, because Igbo are stealing the wealth of the Yoruba people and that of the Niger Delta. There is no Hausa Fulani that will ever give you restructuring, because they have already seized all the wealth of the Yoruba people under the unitary system. The only set of people that can give you restructuring is Yoruba people. So when you vote a full-blooded Yoruba as the president of Nigeria, then you are likely going to get restructuring. But people like Iba Gani Adam, Yinka Odumaki, and all of these people who are in the Yoruba Summit Group, they know the truth that only a Yoruba citizen will give them restructuring. Yet they say they don't want to participate in election because they are horrible, because they are pro-one Nigeria, because they are pro-unitary system, they are pro-Fulani and pro-Igbo. That's why they are giving you gimmick, saying that no restructuring, no election. Nobody will give you restructuring except the full-blooded Yoruba citizen as the president of Nigeria. They don't want to give you restructuring, that's why they are playing gimmicks on you. And we will shame the office of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò if he continues to undermine any Yoruba citizen who so desire to be president of Nigeria. It will shame him. Now, you know what we did when he made his statement about Tinubu? We came out with the history of the Yoruba nation to show you the leadership, the military leadership and the political leadership of Yoruba land. Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò is not the military head of Yoruba land. He's the third in command after Basharon and Balogun. So folks, number 7 basic things that we lack in Yoruba land under the basic human right is social security. We all have the right to affordable housing, medicine, education, and child care. Enough money to live on and medical help if we are healed or old. How many of you can do that? My parents will speak to me when they are healed. Because when they were young, they did not do what we're doing. By fighting against the evil and Fulani who suspended regional government. Because of their failure in their old age, they don't have state pension. They have retired. Their pension is not even being paid regularly. So what do? They rely on their children. So there is no social security for us. We're not enjoying that in Yoruba land. You see videos of people begging for money because they are sick. But we make so much taxes generated across Yoruba land. Income tax, education tax, information technology tax, stamp duty. They are collecting your stamp duty from your rent and from your bank charges now. We have all of these taxes in Yoruba land, but they go to Abuja because we run unitary system. I remember when I was young, my father once told me that they don't pay electricity bill in the north. Hausa Fulani don't pay electricity bill. And if we don't pay electricity bill in Yoruba land, they come and cut our lights. We have no social security, no social safety net. You get this from taxes paid by the people. Imagine you are going to be paying stamp duty on your rent now. But you will pay the rent in Yoruba land. They take the money to Abuja and use it as an allocation for Hausa Fulani from Igbo. Something that you paid in Yoruba land, something that should be reinvested into Yoruba economy. And horrible Yoruba Libra, they are calling themselves Yoruba Summit Group, saying that we should boycott election when Yoruba will be president in 2023. I am a fall down on the way. And you lose Shibruku, you tell Lopolo, you tell more. They're going to source of Kuso, I tell you, brain. What a lot of them did Darubo now. What if you buy your motor BJ? You don't have. Our parents in you sick. Imagine when you don't have money, how do you take care of your parents? How do you pay their medical bills? Healthcare should be free in Yoruba land. It was free under regional government. We had free education, free healthcare under regional government, but not anymore because we run unitary system. Number 8 basic human right that we lack in Yoruba land is workers' rights. Every grown-up has the right to do a job, to a fair wage for their work, and to join a trade union. How many Yoruba who are graduates has access to job now? So we don't have workers' right anymore. You don't have job. There's no job security anymore in Yoruba land. And there will not be because of the unitary system. Until a Yoruba takes the presidency of Nigeria and help to change the course of history, you will not have jobs. You will see Yoruba graduates running abroad to look for jobs. I have been told not to speak on the exchange rate manipulation. But every time something tells me that I still have to speak about this. Because I see a lot of Yoruba abroad that are so brilliant that we need their human capital to grow the economy of Yoruba land. If they continue to live abroad, we will be missing this brain power. So we have to speak around this currency exchange rate manipulation. I see no reason why a PhD, a Yoruba citizen with PhD, will be working as a security guard in England because of £10 per hour. So he looks at that £10 per hour, multiply it by 400 naira, and says, yeah, this is good. No. That £10 per hour that he's collecting, I want it to be 10 naira so that he can come home. And that is what we're going to do. We're going to manipulate this exchange rate. We don't produce anything. Why should we devalue our currency? Do we produce anything that will sell in the international market so that our currency can be so cheap so that people can be able to purchase our goods and services. No, we're not producing anything. We are a consuming nation. Why should we devalue our currency? We will manipulate that currency so that the best Yoruba breed who are living in North America, who are living across Europe, you come home. We should be proud to develop Yoruba land. We should be proud. You will come home. So there is no workers' right. The right to play. Believe you me, we don't have it anymore in Yoruba land. We all have rights to rest from work and to relax. We don't. I live in England, I see the kind of life we live as Yoruba people. We just work and drop dead. At home, people are sick. People are sick, they cannot enjoy life. They will be drinking beer, they will be consuming poison produced by Igbo, fake beer, fake medication, fake soft drink. Everything is destroying our life. We can't relax. There's no electricity. I will be formulating a policy around building specification for the Lagos State government. That from 2020, all new built in Lagos, you must have AC in all the rooms except toilet and bedroom. It will be a policy, and there will be let's say a moratorium or something, that all old buildings in Lagos State must have air conditioning by 2025, and there will be people that will be inspecting them. We live in the tropical area. The sun is so great because it gives us vitamin D. We need the sun, and at the same time we have to enjoy some relative peace of mind. We need AC all across new builds across Yoruba land. And I know if the Lagos State government are watching us, they may turn it into a policy. Any new building, you must provide AC. It's going to be a law. We don't have rights to play anymore in Yoruba land. We can't enjoy anything. You write anything on posts on your social media, they threaten you with hate speech. We can't relax and enjoy with our family. People are poor and miserable. I hope the Lagos State government will take into account and put a law in place. Any new building to be done in Lagos State must have AC. It's a law. And all the old buildings in Lagos State by 2025, they must have AC. Number 10 of the basic human right that we lack is food and shelter for all. We all have the right to a good life. Mothers and children, people who are old, unemployed or disabled, and all people who have rights to be cared for. We don't protect children in Yoruba land. In England, they give child benefits so that no child will go hungry. You don't expect children to fend for themselves. As a matter of fact, recently I was discussing about my family problem with a lawyer that I met recently as well. He said to me that in this country the children belong to the government. And he gave me instances upon which I agree with him. That the children belong to the government. It is. Children should belong to the government in Yoruba land too, so the government must have to provide child benefit, that no child will go hungry in Yoruba land. And we have to protect mothers, because they are the ones that are raising the next generation. I'm a family-oriented man. I saw this in my parents. I don't believe any child in Yoruba land should go hungry. But the government in Yoruba land cannot provide food and shelter for all because we run unitary system. What happened in Igbo land is none of our business. What happened in Hausa Fulani land as Yoruba people doesn't concern us, because they have their own political leaders too, who should shape the opinion of their people, who should make their respective space great. So many children are going hungry in Yoruba, and it shouldn't be. We need to think like human beings. These are all the 10 basic human rights that we lack in Yoruba land because of the unitary system. It is saddening to note that the people across Yoruba land lack these basic human rights, not merely because of the sham unitary system imposed on the Yoruba nation by the Igbo and Hausa Fulani, but also because of the irresponsible nature of our parent generation who had never placed Yoruba land and its people first and foremost. Our parents failed us. We cannot blame the unitary system alone. Awolowo spoke in May 1967, a year and 6 months after regional government was suspended by the Igbo. Awolowo made 4 demands. That 1, the Yoruba nation want a return back to regional government. 2, the Yoruba nation want the Igbo and Hausa Fulani military and police officers in Yoruba land to be returned to their respective region. That we must decentralize the military and the police. Awolowo said that all the taxes collected in Yoruba land must be used by Yoruba land, and Yoruba will not pay for all the loans collected by Rosin and Gowan. And he said other things as well. 1967. This is 2020. You and I are still talking about the return to regional government. It is unfortunate that the irresponsible Yoruba liberals who call themselves Yoruba Summit Group cannot see beyond their nose, cannot see beyond monetary aggrandizement, cannot see the reality on ground that Yoruba nation has been occupied by Igbo, Fulani. The livelihood of our people are being threatened as a result of the failure of the past and present government in Yoruba land to restrict the mass influx of the Igbo to Yoruba land. We are also suffering today because of the past generation did not bring about a return to the regional system of government. Our generation has a duty to the next generation, and we should protect their rights and their freedom. There must be a proper order so we can all enjoy rights and freedoms in Yoruba land and all over Nigeria. The failure of our parent generation explains why there are 774 local government areas in Nigeria. We have 774 local government. None of this local government was created by any Yoruba citizen. These local government were created all by Hausa Fulani, yet they are minority. The Yoruba that is the majority, we did not create one single local government in Nigeria. This is nothing other than subjugation. Of the 774 local governments in Nigeria, there are 504 of this local government in the north and Igbo land. When we speak about north, we're talking about Hausa Fulani, northwest, Kanuri, northeast, and middle belt, north central. If you had Hausa Fulani region plus Kanuri region from middle belt plus Igbo land, they have amongst them 504 local governments. All these 504 local governments, out of 774 local government in Nigeria, the 504 local government that are in these 4 regions, they all depended on Yoruba nation. They all depended on our wealth. That is why our nation, Yoruba land, is not like America. That is why Yoruba land is not like China. That is why Yoruba land is not as developed as Japan. That is why Yoruba land is not at par as England. We have 774 local government in Nigeria. 504 of these local government are in Hausa land, Kanuri land, Middle Belt, and Igbo land. All of them, they dependent on the wealth and resources of Yoruba people. We are the one funding every activities in this space. That's why we lack the money to be like Japan. That's why Yoruba land is so poor and miserable. That's why the best of our brain are running away abroad. Fulani region has 186 local government areas in 7 states. Fulani people, they have 186 local government. All of these local government created by their own leaders. Jigawa state has 27 local government. Kaduna has 23 local government. Kano has 44 local government. Katsina has 34 local government. Kebbi has 21 local government. Sokoto has 23 local government. Zamfara has 14 local government. All these 186 local government in 7 states in Hausa Fulani land, they depended on the wealth generated in Yoruba land. They cannot grow their own wealth. So the money that is meant to develop Yoruba land is developing Hausa Fulani land. That's why we're poor. We run unitary system. The Yoruba region has 159 local government areas in the following 10 states. There are 3 local government in Delta State that are Yoruba speaking local government. There is 1 local government in Edo State that is Yoruba local government, speaking local government. We have in Ekiti, we have 16 local government there. In Kogi, there are 6 Yoruba speaking local government there. In Kwara, there are 12 Yoruba speaking local government there. In Lagos, we have 20 local government. In Ogun, we have 20 local government. In Ondo, we have 18 local government. In Osun, we have 30 local government. And in Oyo, we have 33 local government. In all, we have 159 local government across Yoruba land. This 159 local government, they are the one that is funding all the development in Igbo land, all the development in the Middle Belt, all the development in Kanuri land, all the development in Hausa Fulani land. People that we are funding their own development, who cannot generate their own wealth on their own, yet they are the one ruling over us. We the owner of the money. Is it possible for African America to rule over white people in America? African America, they are minority. To rule over majority white. But minority Igbo, minority Hausa Fulani are ruling over us, the Yoruba, that are majority. Is it possible for Scottish, Welsh, and Northern Irish, who are minority in United Kingdom, to rule over the English? No, it is not possible. But this is what you get in Nigeria. Minority ruling over the majority Yoruba. That is why there is no justice in that country. The Kanuri region has 113 local government area from the following 6 states. Adamawa 21 local government, Bauchi 20 local government, Borno 27 local government, Gombe 11 local government, Yobe 17 local government, and Taraba state 17 local government. So the Kanuri, they have 113 local government. Niger Delta region has 111 local government area from the following 6 states, including Akwa Ibom 31 local government, Bayelsa 8 local government, Cross River 17 local government, Delta 16 local government minus the 3 local government that is Yoruba speaking local government. Edo 17 local government minus the 1 local government that is Yoruba speaking local government. Rivers 22 local governments minus the 1 local government Ikwere local government that is Igbo speaking. So Delta region has 111 local government. The Middle Belt region has 103 local government areas from the following 6 states and the FCT. Benue 23 local government, FCT 6 local government, Kogi 15 local government minus the 6 local government that is Yoruba speaking. Kwara 4 local government minus the 12 local government that is Yoruba speaking. Nasarawa 13 local government, Niger State 25 local government, and Plateau State 17 local government. The Igbo region has 102 local government areas from the following 7 states, including Abia 17 local government, Anambra 21 local government, Delta 6 local government, Ebonyi, 13 local government, Enugu, 17 local government, Imo, 27 local government, and Rivers, 1 local government. If you had the northwest region, which is Hausa Fulani, plus the northeast region, which is Kanuri land, and the north central region, which is Middle Belt, if we add them together, this will lead us to a total of 402 local governments. 402 local governments. The addition of the total number of local government areas from the north plus the Igbo land will add up to 504 local government. The Yoruba region has 159 local government area, but only one of these local government, Apapa local government area, one out of the Yoruba 159 local government contributes more revenue to the Federation account of Nigeria than all the 504 local government area from the north and Igbo land. This is unique. This is the power of the Yoruba nation. And in every society, you use what you have to get what you want. There are 504 local governments in Hausa Fulani land, plus Kanuri land, plus the Middle Belt, and plus Igbo land. 504. One local government in Yoruba land. Yoruba has 159 local government. But one out of 159 generates more revenue to the Federation account than all the local government in Igbo land, plus Hausa land, plus Kanuri land, plus Middle Belt. We feed these people. And these people that we are feeding, they ridicule us. They don't vote for us. They are occupying our space. People that has no wealth. I have news for you. My generation will take Yoruba out of Nigeria with the use of organized violence. We will be violent against these people. The subjugation, suppression of the Yoruba nation is too much. People who contributed nothing to the running of Nigeria, yet they want to be president. Yet they want to be the chief of army staff. Yet they want to be ministers. They want to be ambassadors. They want to control the port. They want to control the waterways. They want to control everything. People who contributed nothing to the running of Nigeria. There's no other country that this is happening. Folks, for so many years we've been saying that the battleground is Lagos. The battleground for the freedom of Yoruba nation is Apapa local government. If we shut down the entire Apapa local government, the entire 504 local government in Igbo land, in Hausa land, in Kanuri land, and in the Middle Belt, they will be destroyed without firing one single gunshot at them. If we can destroy Apapa local government, the entire Igbo land will be destroyed. Hausa Fulani land will be destroyed. Kanuri land will be destroyed. Middle Belt will be destroyed. Because Apapa local government generates more money to the federal government of Nigeria than any of these regions together. So to the Yoruba liberals who are in PDP, people like David Hamilton, people like Citizen Hayward, people like Mayegun. Mayegun used to work for Buruji Kashamu PDP. Citizen Hayward campaigned for Atiku and Obi. David Hamilton campaigned for Atiku and Obi. I don't know this guy called Koiki. I don't know what the guy does anyway. He's ranting about saying that he wants Oduduwa Republic. If you guys are serious. Because your latest campaign is Oduduwa Republic since your PDP lost the election of 2015 and 2019. If you are serious, you will go and destroy a Apapa local government and you get Oduduwa Republic. Straight. On our home part, the conservative, we want to take the presidency of Nigeria first and foremost. And then we give the country a return to regional government. If the Igbo and Hausa Fulani says no,
then we break up the country. We're going to adopt organized violence. If these people who are poor, Hausa, Fulani and the Igbo, very poor people, very poor regions, if they say to us that we're not going to take the presidency in 2023, that is when we're going to shut down Apapa local government. Apapa local government is the battleground in 2023. Ibeju Lekki will start making $5 billion US. I will tell you how they're going to make it. They will start making $5 billion US in form of tax revenue from 2025. So Ibeju Lekki, if we take the presidency in 2023, Ibeju Lekki will be the richest local government in Nigeria. But as of today, Apapa local government is the richest local government in Nigeria, and it is the battleground, not the entire Lagos. If we can destroy Apapa local government, the entire Igbo land will be destroyed without a single gun fired at them. The entire Hausa land will be destroyed, the entire Kanuri land will be destroyed, the entire Middle Belt will be destroyed, because they depended on the wealth coming from Apapa local government. So all of you that are shouting, Oduduwa TV radio, Heritage TV, with all the horrible noise you are making, go and destroy Apapa local government if you truly want to do Oduduwa Republic. These people who call themselves Yoruba World Congress, that started celebrating the registration of Yoruba as part of a minority ethnic group asking for breakup of their country or something like that. You want to do Oduduwa Republic. If you shut down Apapa local government, just one local government out of 159 in Yoruba land, if you shut it down, you will get your freedom. If we do not destroy that local government, you will never be free. One single local government generates more money to the federation account than the entire local government in Hausa land, plus the entire local government in Kanuri land, plus the entire local government in the Middle Belt, plus the entire local government in Igbo land. And Igbo would speak horribly at you, Yoruba. People that are poor. Fulani will tell you that Nigeria is not negotiable. People that have no money, no wealth, no resources. Our parents are very useless to have allowed these actions. That's why the best of Yoruba brains are abroad. And to the Yoruba Libra, you always celebrated Yoruba that are successful abroad. Shame on you. Have you ever seen the best English citizen working in Yoruba land, looking for a job in Yoruba land? Do you see the best Japanese brain, doctors, the best Japanese engineer? Do you see them working in Yoruba land? Why is it that your best brain are working everywhere across the world, being successful, and you celebrate them, hopeless people, when malaria are killing your parent? When you don't have, we have quack doctors all over Yoruba land. The best of our doctors are in North America and across European countries. Look at what the English did recently because of the coronavirus. They quickly took 54 Yoruba doctors, gave them free visa to come and work in their own country. Malaria will be killing you, typhoid fever will be killing you, and you will be celebrating Yoruba that are successful abroad. Shame on you. Horrible people. So who's going to save the life of your parents that are left at home to die? Right? Folks, from 2025, Papa local government will no longer be the richest local government in Nigeria. The position will be taken over by the Ibeju Lekki local government. From 2025, Ibeju Lekki local government in Lagos, Yoruba land would generate over $5 billion US every year and become the richest local government in Nigeria. If a full-blooded Yoruba citizen like Tinubu does not become the president of Nigeria from 2023, Ibeju Lekki local government area will also become the poorest local government in Nigeria, because the wealth that will be coming from there will be stolen by Hausa, Fulani and the Igbo. If Tinubu does not take the presidency of Nigeria from 2023, your children, Yoruba children, they will continue to graduate from Yoruba land and come and wash toilet for English in England. My children will not attain their full human potential in England because they are not English. Don't let anybody bullshit you about nonsense. I know what discrimination is like. I know how to be arrested and put in handcuffs. This is not my country. I feel no bad feelings towards the English. I just want English to face the same treatment in Yoruba land. That is what I want from the heart of my heart. As a young father, I put my children in the best primary school in Sloane Square, Chelsea. It's the most expensive area to live in England. Because I have a son that has some disability. And I needed to give him the best education. But for that boy to be taken away from that school and put in a very terrible bad school, it's a pain in my heart. Because this is not my country. I don't want any other father to have to face this. If we do not develop Yoruba land, your children will be miserable abroad. I can tell you that for a fact. I want my children's generation to be the people that will be in charge of the $5 billion that will be generated from the Ibeju Lekki local government. But if we don't put Yoruba there in 2023, believe you me, my children will be here and they will not be happy. They will be blaming me that my generation is useless. The same way we are blaming our parent generation. If we don't take the presidency in 2023, the riches and wealth from Ibeju Lekki will benefit the minority Fulani and the Igbo if Nigeria remains under the current unitary system. If we continue with the unitary system that steals the wealth of the Yoruba people to build the North and Igbo land, here is what the Yoruba nation will lose to Nigeria. This is how Ibeju Lekki will generate $5 billion a year from 2025. 1. Ibeju Lekki local government is the fastest developing local government area in Nigeria. It is also the first and the only local government in Nigeria to have an oil refinery, a seaport, and an international airport. When we completed this research and I said and I read that passage, I gave it a new name. Ibeju Lekki is a combination of Port Harcourt, Apapa, and Ikeja in one place. Port Harcourt has refinery. Ibeju Lekki has a refinery. Apapa has a seaport. Ibeju Lekki has a seaport. Ikeja has an international airport. Ibeju Lekki is going to have an international airport. It's the combination of 3 communities into one. It's going to be the richest local government in West Africa by the time the development is completed. I want my children's generation to be the greatest beneficiary of this wealth because the wealth is in Yoruba land. It is not in Igbo land. It is not in Hausa Fulani land. So if we do not take the presidency in 2023, our children will live miserable life. It is not a cause. It's a statement of fact. Look at how Fulani children are living. They are not abroad doing dirty jobs that you Yoruba are doing. Hausa Fulani children, they have never been to university acquiring all education. No, they don't even have the brain. But look at the lifestyle they live. Stupendous lifestyle. But you Yoruba, who are the owner of the wealth, you live poor, miserable life. Do you know the latest research that we've done? Not latest, we've done it in the past. We don't have stable marriages in Yoruba land anymore. The Yoruba that are living abroad, 80 to 85% of us have no stable marriages. The Yoruba at home, our wives, our husbands, we're just cheating all over the place. We're miserable. If we don't take the presidency by 2023, our children that we have now, they will live terrible lifestyle than we are currently living. So Ibeju Lekki is the first and perhaps the only local government in Nigeria that has an oil refinery, a seaport, and an international airport. You will see how they're going to make $5 billion a year. By the special grace of Eledumare, my children's generation will control that wealth. They will live good life than we have lived. I live in England, I see how proud the English are. When the 35 police came to arrest me, I said to them during my interview, how come you are all English? Why is it that the police are not Scottish? Why is it that the police are not Welsh? Why is it that the police are not Irish? Why is it that the police are not black people? You are all English, because this is your space. In Yoruba land, it is Hausa, Fulani and Igbo who are working in our own police. They were shocked. I said to them, I'm not surprised about your action and activities, but regardless of what you do, my generation will change because of history in Yoruba land, and we are very ruthless. We don't forgive. We will not forgive and we will not forget. A lot of Yoruba have been killed by Igbo and Fulani. Our generation will take revenge. When I look at this Ibeju Lekki, I look at my own children. They are my descendants. They will just living in England where they are not English. They will be discriminated against. You know, so many black children in England don't have fathers. It's a state policy. Go to black communities. I'm not the one saying it. Go and read the report, Equality Report, which was written in 2011, that looks at the poverty of black and minority community groups in England. Majority of black children have no fathers. That's why they go into gang. They go into drug trafficking. They go into prostitution. They go into knife, killing themselves with knives. They have no father. It is the police in this country that are threatening the black men, threatening them, arresting them deliberately, so that these black men will walk away from their children, so that other men will raise these children who care less about them. It is a state policy. Don't let anybody bullshit you. If we do not build Yoruba land, we will be miserable for the rest of our life. We will be destroyed. Why should we be proud of living in other people's country when we have so much wealth? Ibeju Lekki, just one single local government will have an oil refinery, will have a seaport, and will have what? An international airport. Do you know how much job the seaport will generate? Do you know how much job the refinery will generate? Do you know how much job the international airport will generate? Why should you live in abroad? Why should you live miserable life abroad, doing care work, doing security guard, washing toilet, doing car park attendant, when these jobs are in Yoruba land? But if we don't take the presidency, these jobs, this wealth, these resources will be for the benefit of the Hausa Fulani children and the Igbo children. So Ibeju Lekki local government area is like having Port Harcourt, Apapa, and Ikeja in one place. You can imagine what the local government will become in the next 10 years from now. Stupendous wealth. I just need to give my children qualitative education so that they can help us to manage this wealth. And in future, in my old age, I will be proud of what my children have turned to, managing the wealth in Yoruba land. So in my old age, I won't be like my parents, depending on their children for health care, asking their children to renovate their own house. If we can do this now, in our old age, we will get state pension. When we can't work, when we can't do anything, if we can fight now and get this Ibeju Lekki for our children, in our old age, our children will not be coming to ask us for money. In our old age, we will have free and qualitative health care. But if we miss this opportunity, believe you me, our old age will be miserable and our children will be miserable. Our wealth in Apapa local government. Tinker Ports, Fulani control it. Apapa Wharf, Fulani control it. The taxes paid, the revenue generated from all of this in Apapa local government, Fulani are taking everything. 15 billion naira, trillion naira, sorry. 15 trillion naira is made from Apapa local government in a year. Ibeju Lekki from 2025 will be making $5 billion every year. Our children will control this world, not Fulani, not evil. We will go to war for the sake of our children, so that they will not need to fight that war. How Ibeju Lekki local government would generate over $5 billion every year from 2025. Number one is the Lekki International Airport. The 7 billion Lekki International Airport is a Lagos state government project situated in Ibeju Lekki. It is designed to drive urban development and tourism in the Ibeju Lekki area of Lagos State. It is located about 10 kilometers from Lekki Free Trade Zone. Lagos State government is spending 7 billion naira to build Lekki International Airport. If we don't take the presidency in 2023, if we allow Hausa Fulani and the Igbo to continue to rule us in Nigeria, Lekki International Airport will be appropriated by the federal government. Awolowo built Apapa Wharf. He renovated Apapa Wharf. Apapa Wharf was built in 1913, before Nigeria was created in 1914. We Yoruba built Apapa Wharf. Awolowo refurbished it, Apapa Wharf. In 1975, Hausa Fulani took it away from us. So this Lekki International Airport, if Hausa Fulani continue to rule us as president in Nigeria, even though the Lagos state government invested 7 billion naira into this project, Hausa Fulani will take it away from us. So folks, prepare for chemical and biological weapons. We cannot afford to lose it in 2023. Tinubu must be president of Nigeria. We will lose all this investment. Number two is the Lekki Deep Sea Port. The $1.5 billion Lekki Deep Sea Port, the Lagos state government started construction in 2015. At completion, it will be the largest seaport in Nigeria by the time it starts operation. The Lekki Deep Sea Port will be able to handle over 6 million 20-foot equivalent units of containers. The Lagos state government is spending $1.5 billion building Lekki Deep Sea Port. We cannot allow Fulani to take this over and the irresponsible, useless PDP Yoruba that all of their members are half Igbo. This is where we're spending serious money on, to build the future for our children, so that our children will not live miserable life abroad, so that our children at home will benefit from the wealth God Almighty has given to the Yoruba nation. If we don't take the presidency in 2023, if Fulani continues to rule, they would take that Lekki Deep Sea Port away from us. The same way they took Apapa Wharf from us. The same way they took Liberty Stadium from us. The same way they took NTA from us. The same way they took our farm settlement away. The same way they took everything that we own. Lagos state government under the conservative APC is building this. We must not allow PDP to govern Yoruba land. They will destroy you. It's unfortunate that Iba Gani Adam is a member of the useless PDP. He occupies a position that is ultra-conservative, but he's running around with the useless PDP. Look at what the conservative PDP is investing. They are thinking about by the time Tinubu becomes president, he will be having great-grandchildren. I said to you, by 2025, my own son will be an adult. He will be old enough to vote. He will be old enough to start working. He will be old enough to get married. 2025. We cannot afford to miss 2023. We must take control of Nigeria. and we need the United States of America. We need that country. We need that country. Lekki Deep Sea Port is a project of 1.5 billion US dollar. If we do not take the presidency in 2023, Fulani will take that port from us and turn it into a federal port. They've done it before. Number 3, there are 9 reasons why Ibeju Lekki local government would generate 5 billion US dollar per year. This is what we're telling you. My name is Adenka Grandson. I graduated with economics, first and second degree. I speak nothing but the truth as the president of the Young Yoruba for Freedom. We use research to change the course of history. It is this that we're going to use to get the presidency of Nigeria. It is this same thing we're going to use to dominate the Igbo and Fulani in Nigeria. It is the same thing that we're going to use to take Yoruba out of Nigeria. We just have to protect the next generation. If my generation fails, our children will never be proud of us. Number 3, reason why Ibeju Lekki will generate 5 billion US dollar every year is the Lekki Free Trade Zone. This is the prime project that will boom Ibeju Lekki by 2025. The project has attracted over 64 companies, both local and foreign, who are ready to invest over 25 million US dollar in the zone. Lekki Free Trade Zone is also an historic project that Lagos State government is very proud of. Over 64 companies have registered to participate in the Lekki Free Trade Zone. Thank God for my children's generation. By the time we're done with taking over Nigeria by 2023, our children will no longer be proud to live abroad. They will want to live in Yoruba land. But folks, get your guns. Fulani are unwilling. Igbo are unwilling to allow this wealth to be enjoyed by our children. Igbo want this wealth to be enjoyed by their own children. Yet, Ibeju Lekki is not in Igbo land. Hausa Fulani people, they want their children to be the people that will control the wealth in Ibeju Lekki, yet Ibeju Lekki is not in Hausa Fulani land. Get your guns ready. Our weapon of choice is chemical and biological weapon. We cannot allow foreigners to occupy our space. Number 4, Lekki Smart City Project. Lagos State government and Dubai went into a partnership to build the first smart city in Nigeria. This is a 300 million naira project that is located in Ibeju Lekki. Smart city has been acknowledged to be the first self-sustaining, eco-friendly, smart business city in Africa. Look at the world for your children. If you don't control the presidency of Nigeria, your children will wash toilet like you are currently washing toilet in London. If we do not control the presidency of Nigeria by 2023, your children in America, given back to in America with American passport, they will wash toilet in that country. That's what they'll do. The smart city being built in Lagos is the first in Africa. When we created the WNTV, it was the first television station in Africa. It was taken away from us by the Fulani. They turned it into NTA. Today, Big Brother Naija is being run by South African television station. We, Yoruba, started television station in Africa. The first people, we had television station before France. Today, we cannot run Big Brother Naija. Big Brother Naija is being run by another sister country that started way after us. Why is it that we have failed? It is because we allow Fulani to control the presidency. We are the first to have Olympic Stadium in Africa, Liberty Stadium in Ibadan. Today, look at how our sport is like in Yoruba land. We are the If we do not control the presidency by 2023, we will lose Ibeju Lekki to the Igbo and the Fulani who control the wealth. We're going to go to war, believe you me. These guys are ready for war. And I want to encourage Yoruba, young Yoruba today. London was once destroyed. Paris was once destroyed. Frankfurt was once destroyed. Hiroshima, Kawasaki in Japan were all once destroyed. If we do not shut down Lagos, we will never be great as a people. Fulani knows about this world. Look at how their children are spending money. Look at how Igbo are spending money after they've done their crimes in Yoruba land. They want to take away our wealth so that I will continue to live miserable life in England. My children will live miserable life in England. My grandchildren will live miserable life in England. No, I would rather go to war, fight for my children to enjoy the benefits. We will go to war, folks. We will go to war. We will go to war. The aim of the smart city is to create Yoruba version of Silicon Valley to serve the ever-growing tech industry in Nigeria. That is why Facebook is coming to Yoruba land. Google is coming to Yoruba land. Amazon is coming to Yoruba land. This is big money for our children. Somebody said to me, who has no knowledge of what I'm doing, he says to me, oh, you are going to win the case in court because what you are doing is legitimate. But after the case, you have to calm down so that you don't get deported. Me, that I'm living miserable life in England, I have been in my house 8 times. In fact, it's a disgrace for me in my neighborhood. Since I've been living in that neighborhood since 2017, I've been arrested 2 times. So everybody in my neighborhood just look at me as a common criminal. I've been arrested twice in that neighborhood, in that same environment. Police will just come, like 35 police coming around to my house. Do you think I like that, folks? Somebody is saying, you're going to be deported. Me, with the wealth that is coming from Ibeju Lekki, with the wealth in Apapa local government, with the wealth in Ibeju Lekki local government, you think I want to sit around in England doing shit job, being arrested like a fucking common criminal every time, going to Crown Court to face trial? Me, you threaten Yoruba with deportation with the wealth that is in our home space. In case you're still wondering what a smart city is, just take a good look at your mobile phone to get a good idea of what is expected. We will build the first smart city in Africa. I just want my children to be proud of me that, Dad, you did it. When we take the presidency in 2023, we're going to return Nigeria back to regional government. If the Igbo and the Fulani don't want it, we break up the country for the sake of our children. The English are always thinking about their own descendant. The Caucasian in America, they think about their descendants. Why wouldn't we think about our children? We should be decent people, decent men. We should think about our children, future. I believe with what YYF has done, our children will be proud of us. So that is number 4 reason why Ibeju Lekki would generate $5 billion every blessed year. God Almighty will help the Yoruba nation. We will get the presidency in 2023. We will return Nigeria back to regional government. We will decentralize the police and the military and the court system. Folks, tonight, after this lecture, we're going to release the transcript of this lecture. By the time you've gone through it, we will release to the general public the Constitution of Western Nigeria. And shortly after that, there will be a 10-day trial, or more than that. Then we will be speaking on the Constitution of Western Nigeria. We will change the course of history and take Yoruba land out of Nigeria. Trust me, believe you me. But currently, as I speak to you, I'm facing 2 major challenges. Family and my source of income is being targeted. But I know it will not last forever. But we will get what we want. We are a very proud people. We are very proud people. We will show to the world that we can have the friendship of the United States of America, the good people of Israel, the Federative Republic of Brazil. We like the French people too. We like the Germans too. We want to have good relationship with Russia. Yeah, but we don't like English because they are the people that are constituting problem for the Yoruba nation. We will deal with them in our own space. We will deal with them. They have carried this nonsense for far too long. So number 5 is La Campagne Tropicana Beach Resort. The beach resort is located at Ibeju in Ibeju, Lekki local government, along Epe Expressway in Lagos, Yoruba. This resort is situated on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, bordered by the fresh water of Ibeju Lake. It is a breathtaking epitome of natural splendor and man-made beauty, perfect for fun seekers and holiday makers who wish to escape the hustle and bustle of the Lagos metropolis. It is currently the most visited beach resort in Africa. It would generate stupendous wealth for Ibeju Lekki local government, and our children will have jobs to do there. Our children will have jobs. Yeah, guys, I don't think there are people removing some of the statement that I can read here. Please remove Libra statements and Igbo statements from here so that we can face what we're doing. So I think there is this guy Yoruba Ronu. I think he might be an Igbo. Please kindly remove him if he writes any further nonsense. And I cannot take questions at the moment, guys. Let me just finish what I have to do. Number 6 reason why Ibeju Lekki would generate $5 billion every year is the Dangote oil refinery. The $17 billion Dangote oil refinery, which is the largest single line refinery in the world, with a processing capacity of 650,000 barrels of oil per day. That is where our children will work. If we do not take the presidency in 2023, it is Hausa Fulani children that will be working in Dangote oil refinery. If we do not take the presidency in 2023, all the taxes that will be paid by the Dangote oil refinery will go to the federal government for the benefit of Hausa Fulani and the Igbo. We must take the presidency so our children can get jobs. 90% of the job opportunity in Dangote oil refinery will be reserved for Yoruba citizens because this project is in our land. That is why I have no right and privileges in England, like English, because I am not English. So this project are in Yoruba land. It is Yoruba people that will be the greatest beneficiary of this wealth and resources. Number 7 is the land revenue. Land is the most precious asset in Lagos State, and the government is working hard to make sure that they make the most revenue out of it, since they do not have much of it. Last year alone, Lagos State government made $7 billion from land use charge. We have been saying this, and then as a movement, we speak nothing but the truth. I wrote a personal letter to the former governor of Lagos State in 2012, Mr. Fashola, saying that they should be charging land use tax. I call it tenement rate then, because here in England I pay council tax. And the governor adopted that policy. It is what you call land use charge. Today, last year, the government of Lagos State made $7 billion from that. There will be massive amount of tax that is coming from land revenue from Ibeju Lekki, because businesses will be there, buildings will be there, logistics, and so many. That's why you're going to have refineries, you're going to have seaport, and you're going to have an international airport. So a lot of buildings there are going to pay land use tax. We're going to make a lot of money, folks. The future is Yoruba land. Trust me. Number 8, we have Pan-Atlantic University. Pan-Atlantic University is a private, not-for-profit educational institution in Lagos, Yoruba land. The university had its origin as the Lagos Business School, established in 1991. The Ajah campus was completed in 2003, and in 2010 work began on the Ibeju Lekki campus. We all know what the presence of an institution does to an area, and that will be one of the benefits of Ibeju Lekki, to have Pan-Atlantic University there. And they will be paying tax, even though they are not for profit. There will be influx of students into that area, and it will generate so much money. And finally is the population growth. According to the city population, Ibeju Lekki area has over 150,000 people in 2015. Imagine what it will become by the time all projects starts operation. And you know what that means to the state. By the time the Lekki Free Trade Zone, Dangote Oil Refinery, Lekki Smart City, Lekki International Airport, Lekki Deep Sea Port will be completed, and the Lakampenj Tropicana Beach Resort and other resorts attracting people all over the world and other businesses, Ibeju Lekki will become the Silicon Valley of Yoruba land and generate over $5 billion yearly as revenue from taxes. If we do not get the presidency of Nigeria from 2023, Ibeju Lekki will only benefit the Fulani and the Igbo at the expense of the Yoruba nation and our people. So folks, Ibeju Lekki, a right to the future, is another opportunity for the entire Yoruba nation to think long and hard about the need to get the presidency of Nigeria from 2023. If we miss that, we will be jeopardizing the future of our children. If we miss that, by the time our generation is in our old age, we will regret the way our parents are regretting their actions when they were young. I want to passionately appeal to the leadership of the Yoruba APC to protect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He is the hope of the Yoruba nation. I want to appeal to the APC in Yoruba land to spread the wealth that we are currently controlling, even though it's nothing to write them about because of the unitary system, to spread the wealth to our town and villages so that we can get the support of the people from this area when 2023 comes. I would like to appeal to the head of state of Yoruba land, Oni of Ife, to the president of Yoruba land, Alaafin Foyo, to think long and hard about the future of the next generation. We are the owner of the wealth in Nigeria. Never again must we allow minority Fulani to preside over our wealth. Never again must we allow the criminally minded Igbo to have free access into our wealth and our space. And we must learn about something. We must use people, civilization that are superior to ours, as a source of encouragement. We must look up to the United States of America and see how the Caucasian have been able to develop that country. One thing which is a major problem in America, which is the racial tension, we don't have it in Yoruba land. We're all Yoruba. But if we continue to allow our women and our people to intermarry with the Igbo and Fulani, this is going to cause a big problem for the Yoruba nation in the future. The same racial problem that they are having in America, we will experience that in Yoruba land. Already we are having an idea of what it is. Look at Yinka Odumaki. Because he's married to an Igbo woman, he will talk down on a full-blooded Yoruba citizen like Tinubu. Look at Fani Kayode. Because he's half Yoruba, half Fulani, he doesn't care if the entire Yoruba nation is destroyed. Look at Obasanjo. Because his father was Igbo, his mother was Yoruba, he did everything humanly possible to destroy the civilization of the Yoruba nation. So we have to call on the leadership of the Yoruba nation to think about the next generation. We must discourage Yoruba women from getting married to non-Yoruba men. And I don't pretend, I speak the truth, nothing but the truth, because that is what we do in our movement. We will discriminate against non-Yoruba in Yoruba land, because we have been pushed to the wall. We are very accommodating people. We allow people free movement into our space. We don't kill people who are not Yoruba, but you are killing us. You are destroying our civilization. You are destroying and violating our women. So we will change our policy. We will change our tactics and treat you the way you ought to be treated. We will discriminate against you, particularly Igbo. Every time you guys are being killed by Fulani, yet you continue to vote for them. So you will not vote in Yoruba land. And we will be showing this as evidence from the Constitution of Western Nigeria, which you Igbo suspended in 1966. So I want to appeal to all the young Yoruba. We are the economic backbone of Nigeria. We must rule in that country. We must be president, and we must never support zoning. We must control all the ministry in Nigeria. We must control everything, because the Igbo, the Hausa Fulani, the Kanuri, and the Middle Belt, they live on our wealth. They cannot survive without our wealth. And for that, they must accept the leadership of Nigeria by Yoruba people. The African America, they have accepted the leadership of the United States by white people. They don't contest it. You won't see them asking for zoning. You won't see them saying that because President Trump is white, the vice president must be black. You won't see them saying that because President Trump is the president of the America, the black people must control the Congress. No, they accepted the reality that they are minority and they are not the economic backbone of Nigeria, so they accepted the leadership of white people. It is the same thing in the United Kingdom. The Scottish don't contest the premiership of that country with the English. The Scottish don't ask for zoning. They allow English to rule and dictate the pace in that country. That will happen in Nigeria. We cannot be the economic backbone of Nigeria and our children are scattered all over the world suffering. We will go to war because of one factor. The English are giving weapons to the Hausa Fulani to continue to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba people. And we must prepare for chemical and biological weapons to defend Yoruba civilization. And to the young conservative, don't let us fall for the gimmick of the Yoruba liberals. You see, because we have been confrontational with them, calling them out that we will deal severely with them in Yoruba land. They are not changing tune. That is gimmick. We know them to be very ruthless people. They don't think twice before they do anything. Look at 2015 when I was first arrested by the police and I was beaten up, assaulted, and I was almost killed by the police in this country. The Libra were writing rubbish about me. Look at when I was arrested for terrorism last year. The Yoruba Libras and the Igbo went to town saying that there are the people behind it, but it turned out to be my ex-wife family. See how the Liberals are behaving. They will never change. As a matter of fact, liberalism is born. Conservatism is also born. People who are conservative like us, who think about the interests of the Yoruba, we were born into it. The majority of the liberals in Yoruba land are half Igbo and half Yoruba. The majority of Yoruba liberals who are men are irresponsible. They have children all over the place without taking care of these children. That's their nature. We cannot allow these people to fool us. Look at Tunde Bakari. He's half Fulani, half Igbo, half Yoruba. The father is Hausa Fulani, Sani Arewa. The mother is a Yoruba woman. He condemns Yoruba, yet he made all his wealth in Yoruba land. He has no second thought about the greatness of the Yoruba nation. He went to Jonathan National Conference saying that he rejected Yoruba agenda, is here for Nigeria agenda, simply because he's half Yoruba. These guys can never be committed to the development of Yoruba land. They will never. So there are very liberal wings that are changing tune, saying that they will support Tinubu on a certain condition. We cannot allow them to speak for the Yoruba nation, and they must pay for their action in a ruthless way. If we do not, our civilization will be eroded. Let us learn from how this game is played. America recently said to the Chinese to close down their consulate in Eastern in America. Chinese retaliated with the same policy, asking America to close down their own consulate in China. In 2018, the English expelled 23 Russian diplomats because a Russian ex-spy was killed with chemical weapon in England. Russia did the same thing. That is how we must deal with everyone who wants to undermine the greatness of the Yoruba nation. We must first deal with the Igbo. We have to stop these people from their mass migration into Yoruba land. We use their markets. We shut their market down because they've never voted for us, and they commit a lot of crimes and other atrocity in Yoruba land. So, Ladipo markets, for instance, we can say to them that we want to build railways across there and destroy all their markets. It is our land. They don't vote for us. Why should the Igbo be living in the best area of Lagos? They live in Victoria land, they live in Ikoyi, they live in Lekki, they live in Aja, and Yoruba are living in Ajangbadi. We are living in Mushin, we're living in Okokomaiko, we're living in Yanopaja. Yoruba who are living in London, they live in deprived community. So we have to chase Igbo and other foreigners away from Lekki, from Ikoyi, from Aja, from Banana Island. We chase them out. It is our space. It must be for the benefit of the Yoruba nation. So I would like to appeal to the Lagos State government to formulate a policy in which all new build in Lagos State must have air-conditioned facilities. And all the old buildings in Lagos State must be given 5 years period to provide air-conditioned facilities in all rooms in their house. We can do that and formulate that policy. And I want to say a big thank you to the members of the Young Yoruba for Freedom. We have a case in court, and September we'll be going back to court for pre-trial again. I don't think the hearing will start until next year. But I want to say a big thank you to all our donors who have been funding us so that we can have good representation. And I want to say thank you to all who have been funding me personally so that I can continue to do what we do. We thank you so much. I'm grateful to everyone who have waited for this lecture. So in a few days' time, we'll be starting a new campaign called the Constitution of Western Nigeria. This was the constitution we had first in 1951. It was amended in 1963 because the entire Nigerian constitution was amended. It's a beauty to behold, and we will be enlightening the Yoruba nation into our space to understand this. And we would like to give a warning to Iba Gani Adams. In as much that we respect the position you occupy as the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, we believe that you have abused that position by your utterances against Tinubu, who aspired to be president of Nigeria from 2023. We are monitoring your statement very closely, and we've said to the general public that if you speak ill against Tinubu or any such Yoruba citizen who aspires to be president of Nigeria, we will rather undermine your person and your position. And we will call on the Yoruba head of state, Oni of Ife, and the Yoruba president, Alaafin of Oyo, to remove you from office as the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. As a matter of fact, on a personal level, I think the position in Yoruba land, be it the governor, be it the prime minister, be it Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, it should not be forever. That will make that position to be compromised. He will be suggesting to the office of the president of Yoruba land, the Alaafin of Oyo, to make the position of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò for a period of 15 years, so that that position will not be compromised. The only position in Yoruba land that should be forever is the natural ruler, our Obas. That is the only position that should be forever. We cannot allow the position of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò to be a permanent position forever. It should be for 15 years. It's like the position being occupied by Burrata in the military. So that is very important. I don't think I'll be able to take questions tonight. Our time is fast spent. And people are asking how they can make donation. I think the information has been provided for everybody. Tonight, you will read the transcript of this political speech. And then tomorrow, we will officially release the Constitution of Western Nigeria. It's a big shame that we couldn't obtain a copy of that Constitution in any of our foremost university, University of Ife, University of Ibadan, and the UNILAG, University of Lagos. None of them has a copy of that university. As a matter of fact, many of them say that there was nothing like that constitution. But we had our own constitution, which is Yoruba constitution, before the Igbo messed up the whole thing. So tomorrow, you will be able to read our constitution. And I will be able to speak for 10 days on that constitution. So thank you so much. God bless you. God bless the APC Yoruba that is working tirelessly to make Yoruba land great. We want to say to the PDP Yoruba, it's a shame that your party, you were killing yourself over ordinary Ondo State primary. You have never changed because majority of you are thugs. You will never change because majority of you don't have the brain power. You are not highly educated. That's why your party struggles to win election in Yoruba land. And your star boy, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, is really messing up big time. He has already incurred a debt of 140 billion naira. If the 100 billion naira is expected will be signed on. Yet, he came on board abusing later Ajimobi of borrowing 90 billion naira. And at this moment, in the memory of late Abiola Ajimobi, the former governor of Oyo State, the young Yoruba for freedom, would like to say to the general public that Ajimobi really supported our movement. And then was my former boss. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He did greatly well for your state. He's a conservative by excellence. Condolences to the family. And may God Almighty continue to be with the family, the wife and the children. Ajimobi and I are very close. I remember then, he would always come to my house in London. In 2011, he gave me a political appointment to come and be commissioner. But I couldn't take up that role because of the health of my son. He has helped me in no small measure. It's a great loss for my family. It's a great loss for me in particular. But we believe, because of the good things he has done, he's in a good place. May God Almighty continue to comfort his family. I remember one scene that I had with the wife in London. I said to her that I have an idea of what she would do as First Lady. That was when Ajimobi was pronounced winner. So I went to his house in London and I said that we should be building children parks and public libraries. That should be some of the things that she would do as First Lady. She said to me, look, grandson, when you're fair, I want to fair bread, one need the pom, one need the cotton business, one need, whoa, can you say politician? Oh, more but how you're fair. So that's why we just laughed about it, because she sampled the opinion of what the people want. You see, the people want money for this and that. I remember I suggested something for the children, because then I was a young father and I was so passionate about my kids. She's a very lovely woman. She will invite me to come and eat on the same table as her and the family. It's a great loss for the Yoruba nation. But we're happy for the good deed. And we will say, I remember at the governor's meeting in 2017 when I made a video about the use of chemical biological weapons. He said that Adeyinka grandson is a necessary evil for the Yoruba nation. Now about Niru Adeyinka grandson, you're free. Some people said to me, and he's very proud of me. So a huge pain. But today we are happy that he's resting in perfect peace. May the good Lord continue to be with the family and to the Yoruba APC, to the good people of Oyo State, and to the Yoruba nation. We've lost a great Yoruba nationalist. God will comfort his family. Thank you very much, guys. I'm very grateful. We're going to see you soon. Cheers.